Bushwhacks were some of the worst days I've ever had in the mountains, or life, really.
Whereas Panther Mountain is totally opposite. It's a mountain on top of a crater.
I think the weather challenges on this incident were particularly difficult.
It was really the development of New York State. Catskills were responsible.
Now you're listening to Inside the Line, the Catskill Mountains Podcast.
Now we are recording. Good Lord. Thank you, Tad.
Damn good I asked. Jesus.
Damn good you asked. Good Lord. I'm glad we didn't actually record that one part.
So now we're recording. We got all Sean Ianucci's secrets out. He's here tonight to tell us about Catskill winter hiking, and the first confession of the night is
I am not even a Catskill Winter 3500 or
so it makes him qualified for a government office, but not to be on our podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, same. Right. I'm actually not one either. So,
how many you got left, Josh?
I think like 5.
Yeah, I'm like basically there too. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right. Let's
I think we might have some similar ones to do. You and I remember you went over it. Not that I listened to the show because I really don't listen, but I think I heard one show that you said that you named them, and I feel like we had a lot of similar hikes left to do.
Well, then we'll have to do it. So Sean joins us tonight. We're talking about winter prep and pre-winter gear, winter gear, stuff like that. Sean joined me. I still can't remember what episode it was. It was in the early 100s, and we just chatted about his winter gear and stuff. Sean is like he said, he's not a Catskill 3500, but he's done stuff up in the Adirondacks, so he knows
winter Catskill,
winter 3500. But he's done stuff in the 46ers. You know, you've battled your stuff. So
yeah, I'm not even a winter 46er either. I'm like a little over halfway. You know what the problem with that is winter days are short, and it's just to drive up there. One year I was banging them out, but then it just became expensive because I'd end up like staying up there for a night, sometimes 2 nights, and then it was just like. Yeah. And then it's exhausting driving home. I think one time I was like, I literally white knuckled it for 3 hours in a blizzard on the way home, and I'm like, well, screw this, you know?
Yeah, indeed. It just gets a little. It's like a 4-hour drive and stuff like that. So
yeah, depending on where I'm going, it's anywhere between 3.5 to 4 hours from me. So
yeah, that's not fun,
that's one
even
way.
In the summer.
That's one way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. Yeah,
that's the same way for me. It's getting up there. Up to the lodge was 4.5 hours.
They don't have electric outlets up there either. So
yeah, exactly. Right. Actually, they do at Hannaford and Lake Placid.
Stewart's too. Stewart's has them.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah. And
Keene, I think. Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So Sean's here. We're going to talk about winter prep and pre-winter gear. We're also going to talk about this new little thing's going on. Strava is sued Garmin, and now there's a feud going on between Garmin and Strava about some sort of like logo or something like that that Garmin wants to put on Strava that hasn't been on there since 2014 or something like that. It is very odd, and it's talking pretty weird, you know. Have been together since kind of like working in Coheed since 2014. But apparently, Garmin violated something that is related to a heat map display and its generation. The patent, which was filled in 2014, looks like the ones were fallen over the years and has been violated. So now Strava says that they have suffered damages, including lost revenue and business opportunities, erosion of competitive difference and network effects, harm to goodwill, and unjust gains to Garmin. That's a little bit hardcore. I mean, I think it's a little funny, but definitely a lot of questions. Will Strava, they sued him? Will this go to court? Will this go to big court? What the hell does this mean? Like, Tad is a little on this. He's a little bit twisted on this
Really?
subject. Yeah, who I didn't put that in there. I'm not the one that's.
I thought you threw in the Garvin versus Strava. Look, I don't have a horse in this race. I do not use Strava for hiking. I do use it for cycling. And I do have a Garmin InReach, which is in a pocket in my backpack, which I seldom turn on while hiking. I'm not sure why I don't turn it on while I'm hiking. But I don't track my hikes on Strava nor Garmin. I use Gaia. But I would imagine you have trail runners out there that are using Strava, whether they're tracking it via Garmin, their iPhone, or something else. And I guess it works for them. As to the lawsuit, I'm not sure what the end game is. For Strava, all I know is at some point, Garmin could put Strava out of business, maybe. But on the other hand, does Strava really need Garmin? You can do all that stuff on Strava with just a simple iPhone. So,
Yeah, I use both Strava with a Garmin watch.
for hiking.
There's another watch company, Koros, that isn't involved in this whole
Yeah,
lawsuit, and
I think, yeah,
it
I heard
happens. A lot of people who own Garmin watches will probably stay more loyal to Strava and just buy a Koros watch.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So like with the Strava stuff, like of course everybody posts like the fastest known time through Strava for some reason. I don't know why Strava has all the fastest known times and stuff like that.
I
So
think it's just the platform that a lot of these trail runners use.
okay, that's still
Yeah.
like my question. And the only thing that Garmin wants to do is to put their logo on post, and it's data that they use. It's not like I mean, it is crazy because you want to be recognized for something that you've done, and apparently these people who are doing that don't get noticed that it's posted on Strava, so they're like, oh, Strava did it, not their Garmin.
Yeah, well, Strava is open to different platforms, whether it's an Apple, Garmin, Chronos, other hardware devices that are out there are compatible with Strava, whereas Garmin's connectivity is just based upon Garmin. But I think Strava's concern is that Garmin's going to accumulate a lot of data and then eventually appropriate a lot of users from Strava. So Garmin gets a bigger market share than it already has. And, it's a shame because the person out there using Strava for segment hunting and trying to be the king of one segment and using it for other training purposes, they shouldn't be obligated to buy a Garmin to get the benefit of that data platform. Like I said, you can load an app. I have Strava loaded on my iPhone, and I'll occasionally use it off of the iPhone. And I can imagine there's people out there that having a Garmin device just for the purpose of recording this data is an expense that is kind of a luxury for them. So it'd be nice that if more things are open source, then making it proprietary, and you can't compare your performance with somebody who's using a Garmin versus somebody who's just using an iPhone.
Mm-hmm. So is Strava free? Strava isn't free. There's certain platforms on Strava that you have to pay for, correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's like the basic level, which I believe is free, and then there's the subscription-based services, and I do have the subscription because I still enjoy using it for cycling, and I forget what the annual cost is, but for me, it's not out of reach. It's under $100, as I remember. So,
Sean, what do you use? Like you said, you use Garmin watch, right?
I have a Garmin watch, and I do use the Strava too, so I pay for it. Yeah,
And what do you
like the features on the Strava. It's just kind of like,
like the Garmin watch? What do you gotta like say about that? Is that awesome?
I like it. I like it. You know what? I use the Garmin watch more so for like I track a hike or a run or a walk with it, and it syncs automatically with the Strava. I'll tell you, to be honest with you, the best thing about the Garmin is I just started doing this year. I never used to sleep with a watch on, but I sleep with the watch on now, and I'm like all about my sleep score.
Nice. I mean, I do that with my Fitbit, my
Yeah.
old fucking Fitbit, but like
Yeah. I like to monitor how much I'm sleeping. Yeah.
you get older, you gotta be like, hey man, I need that fucking the sleep is precious.
Yeah. It is. It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Sean
Yeah.
looks like he could go for a few hours sleep right now. He looks pretty tired. Now he
I,
opens up his eyes wide open. Yeah,
what?
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna
Yeah.
pass out. I know
Past
he
his
is.
Well,
bedtime.
I'm on Inside the Line Catskill Mountain podcast right now, so
Late edition.
Late
God knows
edition.
when we're gonna get done here. I have had like 6 cups of coffee before because this could be all day long, right?
Yeah, it's
What's
winter
in that
hiking.
coffee?
Got to get fired up.
I keep looking out my window with the flashlight to see if the grass is growing.
Right.
I might
What's
have
in that coffee?
No, I'm not drinking coffee. I don't know how this guy in the middle here drinks coffee at this time of night without
Right? It's
staying
insane.
up all night. I don't know. I used to be able to do that when I worked around the clock for
Yeah,
20 years, but I used to be able to drink a cup of coffee at midnight and be in bed by 1 o'clock in the morning with no problem. But I can't do that anymore. It's like one and a half, 2 cups a morning, and that's it.
correct.
Can't have coffee after 1 in the afternoon. Not
Correct.
anymore. Not anymore. I'm old. I'm old now.
Yeah. So, Ted, with all our sponsors and all the people donating to the show and contributing to the show, I think we have a chance to buy this Cascade Welcome Center up in the Adirondacks.
Yeah, and I think if we did buy it, we could make Sean the on-site caretaker, so we wouldn't have to drive very far to
That would be perfect.
knock off his winter peaks in the Adirondacks. But
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to mow our
Yeah.
lawns perfectly.
That
all
would
I
be
know is who wants to go out and buy a ski area in the midst of global warming.
Yeah. And it's $2.85 million, 198 acres.
Yeah. And it's not like, a ski area where you have all these slopes and a concentrated area on the ski hill. This is a cross country facility where the trails are spread out, over miles and miles. And so snowmaking and grooming for such a place has got to be very expensive.
I don't even think they do snowmaking there. I think it's all just snow.
Yeah, so if you have a bad snow year, you're out of business.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit of snowmaking. If you're able to blow snow.
Well, the old place before the 80K Mountain Club bought it, there was a bar in there. So.
And then to go over what's happened, the Adirondack Mountain Club is now selling the Cascade Welcome Center for $2.85 million. They bought it 3 years ago, and they said it was a hard decision to sell it, and that it's not just the public that are disappointed. Our staff poured an enormous amount of work, heart, and passion into the facility, but we know this is the right decision. So it's located 5 miles southeast of Lake Placid. They purchased it, groomed the main train trail network, and they bought it from a Jubin family from $2.5 million in 2022. So, of course, it's gone up like everything else in the goddamn world. They said it would be closed this winter, but it will be temporary at the time. So, Sean, you said they had a bar there, but they didn't.
There was a bar in that place.
Was that like a hopping bar? Because.
Yeah, like it was also open seasonal, like it wasn't open during the summertime. So
I mean, that's what I
if I
like.
remember correctly, you could stay there too, if I remember correctly. I never stayed there. I'm not a cross country skier, so I never really went there.
Yeah.
From what I understand is I guess there's a new head muckety muck in charge of the mountain club now, and I guess they really didn't approve of the purchase of the thing. I guess whoever was, I don't know.
So the 80K, the Mountain Club is a nonprofit, right? So
it is, I guess, a nonprofit, but I mean, they have to,
Yeah.
They got to at least break even. And
of course,
probably hard to make money on a cross country ski area
right
these days. My expectation is for 2.85 million. What is this? A lot of acres, almost 200 acres. You're going to see it being bought up by 6 to 18 hedge fund owners from Brooklyn who are going to build, cabins. What they're going to call cabins and what we're going to call mansions on this property, subdivide it or create some type of common ownership amongst them and use it as their retreat up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. I need to know these guys.
Yeah.
They should get some podcast hosting services up there. We can hook them up.
I mean, I think we're good, Ted. I think we can afford this. I think we should.
A few more hard ciders away from 2.85 million.
From hitting yes. So if we talk about this place, what is the most like a local, probably the 46er that's involved with this area? We're looking at like not Marcy, 9th Street or closer to that area and stuff like that. So this would be
Cascade and Porter's right next to it.
Oh, so the one of the two most popular hikes in
Cascade and Porter's right there. It's kind of like Cascade and Porter, and then you have like the Van Hovenberg Ski Center is there, and then right after that is this ski center that they bought, and then after that is the Lodge Road. So Cascade and Porter is the closest to.
I mean, so I mean, so yeah, I don't know, Ted. I think maybe that guy that 46 guy is going to purchase it.
Yeah,
he might have a chance.
I'm looking at the photos on Zillow. It's got pretty rustic, pretty primitive. There's a lot of ski boots and skis. The runs are named Main Street Jackrabbit, Beaver Run, and there's a big warning sign says no dogs on ski trails. That sounds like a bummer.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks like it could be a nice place, but again, it all comes down to snow. If you have the snow and people are going out and doing this, it's great. If it's one of these seasons where there's not a lot of snow, you're going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah. Hopefully, we're chatting about, winter hiking and stuff like that. Hopefully we get a good season, but it's like there's so many different variables that happen with the snow up here, the ice, stuff like that we have absolutely no clue what's going on. When we used to be able to predict, we're going to get a lot of snow this year. It's going to be fine. But now it's just like, we might get like 18 inches and then freaking just ice completely the rest of the year. So last year it was okay. It was a decent.
I think last winter from end of November through the beginning of April, I had snow under my boots every hike. There wasn't much ice because we didn't get really any thaws. We didn't get much rain, if any. So the snow stayed snow pretty much all winter long. It got really deep up there. It was a great winter for winter hiking. And then some winters, it just gets cold, but there's really no snow.
Yeah.
Or it's just ice. So remains to be seen. What do you think, Sean? What's your expert prediction on winter 25-26?
We had a very dry end of summer, fall last year, and then we ended up having a pretty dry one this year. And like you said, last winter we had quite a bit of snow, so I'm anticipating more snow than usual.
Nice.
This year.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
My prediction,
Let's see if that goes to hand. So like, I don't know, man. We don't know. So maybe with with the Cascade Center being sold in the Adirondacks, maybe that they'll sell the Winniesook place up in what's it called, Slide, right around there, and then we'll buy it. We'll take it over. Right, Winniesook Lake.
Oh, well, I think those are all little privately owned cabins around there.
They're all like generationally owned too, if I understand.
I'm buying it.
Yeah, you need to marry into one of those families.
Yeah,
that's true, actually.
They also have like a co-op board, from what I understand. So like, if you wanted to buy one, they have to like
approve you
before they let you. So the three of us aren't getting approved, I don't think.
No, they won't. They'll be like, these guys are regular hikers. We don't want them here. They're hiker trash. But so, recently we got the Forest Ranger report. There was nothing actually that happened in the Catskills. It's pretty crazy. So was from last week that they released on Wednesday. So in Blenheim, Schoharie County on October 10th, 6 p.m., Forest Ranger Wells responded to a call for a missing subject with dementia. 83-year-old was last seen at 4 p.m. The Schoharie County Sheriff Departments worked with Ranger Wells to search the wooded area surrounding the subject's home by foot and also using a drone. At 7:10 p.m., Schoharie County Dispatch received a call from someone reporting the missing subject knocking on their door looking for assistance to get back home. And the sheriff reported that the person came back home. So again, this is like the third case within the last 2 weeks that we've had a subject with dementia that has gone lost in the woods that they've had to search for.
Yeah. Someday that'll be me. I'm just a few years away.
Hell yeah!
So,
Like, hey,
looking forward to it.
Is this the Catskill Falls Trail? No, you're on Double Top, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be me next year, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was on Catskill Falls. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I already make that mistake. So
You going to airlift me out? Oh, darn. All right. So in Hunter, on October 11th, 3:45 p.m., Greene County 911 informed Forest Ranger Comerford that a hiker in the Lower Falls area of Catskill Falls was possibly experiencing a diabetic emergency and a partial loss of consciousness. At 4 p.m., Ranger Comerford and Assistant Forest Ranger Massa reached a 34-year-old from New Jersey. The hiker was not diabetic, but was suffering from low blood sugar because they hadn't eaten enough during the day. Rangers provided water and electrolytes while someone else in the hiking party provided snacks. After resting, the subject was feeling better and able to walk out. Ranger Comfort and AFR Massa assisted the subject to the Laurel House trailhead where they met Hunter EMS. Resources were clear at 5 p.m. So an hour and 15 minutes. That's how awesome Catskill Falls is. Love it. Also, on October 12th, 2:32 p.m., a group of hikers stopped to see a historic stone building while hiking the South Lake Day-Use area to Catskill Falls. While looking, the 27-year-old from East Pataguchi, Patchgosh? How do you say that? That sounds New Jersey.
Say that a few times real quick.
Patchagoo?
How about Patchhog?
Patchog.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. See, yeah, fell and sustained a
Aren't you from Long Island?
I 6 years old. I moved from Long Island. All right.
Go lid.
Yes. So they say the significant ankle injury. Forest Ranger Dawson and Jackson located the subject on the yellow marked trail near the building. They splinted the ankle and got the patient to Ranger Dawson's truck to drive to the South Lake trailhead. Hunter ambulance transported the patient to the hospital and they were clear at 4 p.m. So I'm guessing the yellow marked trail, I'm guessing this is coming from the road to the Catskill Falls trailhead. There's that little, they called it the laundry house along the creek. I'm guessing that's where they were.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How
All
can
I know
you
is
suffer an ankle injury on flat terrain?
Well, I mean, that's what ankle injuries happen from. Sometimes it's just nondescript anything. Twist your ankle, it breaks. I look at this was an hour and a half from the time the call went in until the guy was put in the ambulance. Hour and a half. Kate was out there
yeah,
what, almost 9 hours, 10 hours.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, she was also in the middle of goddamn nowhere. And
I know. I mean, but this guy is like one of the most heavily used areas in the Catskills.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're going to break your ankle, you got to do it in the Catskill Falls area.
Get out quickly. I mean, that area, once again, that spot, they could drive an ATV easily over to that area.
Yeah.
Then this is not even the one that was like was it a couple weeks ago or last week or something where the person fell over the ledge and they had the twin cloves.
And hit their head? Yeah.
Yeah, the twin cloves team. Did we go over that last time?
We did.
Okay. I was just like, I remember talking about that. I was just like, and that was like that again, like it seems like it would be a 3-hour rescue, but they did that in a matter of freaking like an hour. They're insane. Those twin cloves. I've tried to get a hold of them. Anybody knows anybody on the twin cloves team, please have them get a hold of me. I'd love to hear their stories of their rope rescues. It's got to be amazing. So, Sean, you are familiar with the whites, correct? I don't know what you were doing right there. You were cleaning your shoes, probably.
I was cleaning burrs out of my dog's ears. He
Oh,
now
Hmm.
he got these little burrs and was just picking them out.
what's his name again?
Enzo.
Enzo. Yes, I love seeing your stuff on. We'll
Yeah,
we'll tag you on the show. So you're familiar with the whites, right?
I have some familiarity with the whites. Yes, indeed.
And it can turn crazily, and just like the Adirondacks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I still don't, well, the one thing I don't understand nowadays is how much information we have on the freaking internet, and people get stuck in these situations of not knowing what the hell's going on in the mountains. So this is Franconia Ridge. Man rescued from Franconia Ridge after allegedly hiking unprepared without any light, water, or food. So at 6:03 p.m. on Sunday, October 19th, the New Hampshire Fish and Game received a call for a hiker who was unprepared and requesting help near the summit of Little Haystack in Lincoln. So anybody's been up in New Hampshire, Little Haystack is on your way up Mount Lafayette, the second tallest mountain in New Hampshire. Beautiful trail, freaking one of the most stunning places I've ever visited in my life. Definitely amazing place. Call was made to the hiker that was identified as Jason Choi, 23, of East Hampstead, New Jersey. Choi was on the Franconia Ridge Trail, still above tree line at the time of the call. He explained that he was not prepared and needed help getting down. He did not have water, food, or light. With the temperatures dropping and a storm system moving in, conservation officers hiked up to get Choi. At 8:14, so we're a little bit over 2 hours later, conservation officer located Choi just below the summit of Little Haystack on the Falling Waters Trail. Choi was given food, water, and light, and then assisted down on the trail to the parking area and arrived approximately 9:50 p.m. Choi explained that he had not planned on a long hike and was not prepared to be out as long as he was. Choi was otherwise uninjured and cleared the trailhead after the rescue. It will be recommended that Choi be charged for the cost of the rescue.
Don't you love New Hampshire? They name the people.
That is one of the things that I love, that they're like, hey, this person did this, let loose.
Yeah, they name them where they're from and all that, right? I feel like the DEC did for a short period of time. They were naming names, and I think somebody probably got upset about that, and then they stopped putting the names.
Yeah.
I swear I remember the DEC used to put the names of people, and it didn't last long. I think. And
Yeah,
then
I find that phenomenal. I think it's actually very educational to show that, 23-year-olds can do this, and then, 70-year-olds can do this as well, and that it just goes back and forth between ages and, you know, um, gender, stuff like that. It's good. It's good, but then it's also like bad at the same time. At least they don't have like mug shots of them like up on there. Like
yeah, yeah. Imagine that. That'd be
that
even
would,
more
Yeah, I
embarrassing.
just I can't get over the fact that this fellow sets out on this hike and he says he wasn't intending to go on such a long hike. What's
I
with
mean,
that? I mean, you can turn around, right? When you hike out like an hour and you say, "Wow, I've been
Right.
hiking for a long time. Maybe I should turn around." Then
Or
why
like
don't you
you
turn
know the
around?
sun's going down at a certain time, right? Like
Yeah. What is it that you he set out on this hike? He wasn't prepared for such a long hike. And so why isn't it that like a hour and a half, however long into it, he realizes I just have this one bottle of Poland Spring water in my flip-flops. Maybe I should turn around,
yeah,
right?
it's
Maybe even if he had a backpack, he still would have been unprepared, right? Maybe this guy just didn't have the common sense to say, "Hey, I'm not capable of doing a 9-mile hike with 4,000 feet of vertical gain
right.
yet. I should start off doing small hikes, where I don't have to get way, way up there and then freak out and have to call for a rescue." Right?
I feel like the whites can be some people. I think because they're accessible, they're kind of like the Catskills. They're not like in the sense that you park at the trailhead, you start out and you're just pretty much straight up climbing up right away.
yep.
And I feel like people are just like, oh, it's just I'm gonna walk to the top and I'll walk down, but they don't realize, oh, and it's only 2 miles to whatever to the summit, and they think like 2 miles, but 2 miles and 3,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah, in 4 different climate zones.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're above tree line, and it's like
Yeah.
anything. I mean, I've been on that ridge multiple times, and it's I've been on there. It was sunny, and then it was hailing and raining, and then next thing you know, the rest of the day was beautiful. It's like it's wild up there.
Yeah.
I've only been up there one time, and I have to say, I have never seen a higher concentration, and this was in late October. I've never seen a higher concentration of people hiking in sweatpants
Yeah.
and hoodies. Okay.
Go to Anthony's nose on Saturday.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah,
think this
right.
is a little bit higher in elevation than
It is.
Anthony's
It
nose,
is. It
but
is.
yeah, it was just I was like, wow. I almost felt out of place, like with the backpack and real hiking stuff on,
Right.
and these other people look like all they needed was like a basketball to go under their hand.
And
It
then,
looked like
and
they were
then you get those snooty guys that are like, I'm staying at the hut tonight.
yeah,
True. Those
Right.
guys are assholes.
Right?
right,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
They drive up in their Teslas.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
Oh,
And they-
Tuesday, get
we
out of
know
my
that
way,
type of
peasant.
hiker.
I have a bunk in the hut to stay at. Come on.
Yeah, the next thing you know, they're buying some cross country ski area in the
Right,
Adirondacks.
right.
Huh.
And they're moving and they're changing the names of their podcast to
Yeah,
Right.
finally somebody I can identify with here on the show.
So, Sean, you talk about that. Like everybody that I talk to, I do tell them that the whites are very similar to the Catskills. That you start
I mean, they are and
elevation
they're
gain.
not. The whites have
Oh,
beautiful views at the top.
well, true. They have above tree line, but they start their elevation gain immediately. Like you,
Yeah,
you
most
do-
of them do. Yeah. But have you done the Pemi Loop?
Yes, I've done it twice.
Yeah, I've done the Pemi Loop.
Well, the freaking Lincoln Wood sucks cock.
That rail bed. I've done it. In a day. In a day hike, the whole
Nah,
loop.
that sucks.
And the walk out on that rail bed is just like, holy shit, is this ever going to end?
Yeah, you think Denning sucks. You think walking out on
Yeah,
Denning
yeah,
sucks.
it's
This is
just-
like times 20.
And I did that walking out in the dark, and it was like, I feel like there's still railroad ties, right? But
There is.
Yeah, there is.
Right. Trying to
Makes it
remember.
even
Yeah,
bitchier.
I was so tired when I finished a hike up there with my daughter. I said, "Why don't we just wait for the train to come through?"
Right? You
Yeah,
have
I
to-
feel like I was like hallucinating on the way out of there. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is where are we?
Yeah. It's I got to that, the first time I did it was 2 days of pouring rain. So the last day we came out, it wasn't the whole Lincoln Woods walk back, but it was just that coming down from what is it?
Bonds, right?
Huh?
The bonds?
No, the other way. We did it counterclockwise.
Okay. Like flume.
Yes, flume. So that was just straight up 4,000 feet downhill, and I was dead. I was just completely like, screw this, shoot me right now. This is it.
That flume trail going down from Flume, like straight down, not towards Lincoln Woods. That's a steep, fucking trail, man.
It's nice. It's nice though. I had a good time, and I like I
I
said,
went down that. Somebody said it when I was up there that I think somebody at the I stayed at the campground down there, and the old guy there's that's the steepest trail in the whites. So I'm like, okay.
and then it has the ladders every 5 feet.
Yeah. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. So how about we get the DEC to start putting these people's names on the things to identify them, and then we can go
Yeah, I
ahead.
don't know. That's because you know what? One day, Slash, it could be you.
That's fine with me.
It'll never be Ted because Ted knows better.
Yeah. Well, I'm too vain to call in. I'd rather die in the woods than get my name read. Stosh will be like, and that's Ted. That's where Ted is. Nobody's
Right.
seen him for 2 weeks. Got found in the woods, eaten by a mountain lion.
Let's just point out that I'm probably the only one in here in this group that doesn't have like an inReach or something like that to get a
Don't.
hold of. No.
Really?
Yeah, it's because I'd fucking rather die than be put on social media.
Well, can't you radio in with that thing that's in your lip? Like that's like an antenna. You can radio
Keith,
in.
it's quite.
I thought that was to jumpstart the Tesla.
That is,
right.
yes, electricity hits
I
that.
thought he
when
went
that
fishing.
lightning.
He got a fish hook cut in there. I don't know what
Yeah.
It's yeah. What is it? Salt Life, all right. Salt Life.
Boat life,
And I
pond life.
lived in Long Island, all right, down in Long Beach.
Patchogue.
Yeah. All right. All right.
You have to say it
That's
like
it.
you're from Long Island, though. It's Patchogue.
Said I'm cutting it off. Everybody.
Like you
I'm
got a
gonna
lobster in your mouth.
mute
Yeah.
this endless. So thank you to the monthly supporters, Bob McLean, Chris Gerbian, Jeff Schatz, Vicky Ferrer, Mikey S., John Comiskey, Summit Seekers, Desert City Radio, Betsy A., Denise W., Vanessa, Jim C., and Eric. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Really appreciate it. And also thank you to our amazing sponsors, Outdoor Chronicles Photography. So capture a love story against breathtaking backdrops with Outdoor Chronicles Photography. Molly specializes in adventure couple photography, and she'll immortalize your moments amidst stunning landscapes of the Catskills, Adirondacks, and the White Mountains. She'll craft timeless images that reflect the unique bond in nature's grandeur. Embark on an unforgettable photographic journey with Outdoor Chronicles Photography. Don't hesitate to get a hold of Molly on all platforms. Also, discover the wilderness with Trailbound Project. Our expert-led hiking and backpacking education program offer unparalleled outdoor experiences. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned adventurer, join us to learn essential skills, explore stunning trails, and connect with nature. Start your journey today with Trailbound Project and unlock the wonders of the great outdoors. So, were you really outdoors? Sean wasn't because he didn't tag us. So, mention the podcast on one of your hikes through social media and we'll chat about it on the show. Tag us by typing the big A with a circle around it at ITL Catskill MTM podcast on your post. So, Chaotic Exotic did Southwest Hunter, and Westkill from the Devil's Tombstone. Interesting loop. That's pretty significant gain and loss.
Yeah,
right?
some real vertical there. That was presumably by design that she wanted to get a little extra vert in. Or I got to say, the hike up the Devil's Path from Devil's Tombstone is a pleasant hike. You go through that one stretch through that old forest up there is pretty cool, in my opinion.
Oh, that first growth forest that was
yeah,
they just discovered, right?
Yeah,
I mean, somewhat.
when you say just discovered, relative to Mike Kudish's life, it was just discovered.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. From post age 75.
Yeah. So that was definitely a significant, nice hike. So off in the woods, Sean, not this Sean, did the 6 with Ted and only has 6 more left. So I didn't ask him what 6 he has left, but
With Ted or with Ted?
Ted.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Ted does the 6 like periodically.
Ted is short for Theodore. What's Ted short for?
What's Tad short for?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Really?
Oh.
I'm not sure where Tad comes from.
True.
I think, it just, it happened.
It just, right.
All right. So
It's
Pink
my
Pony,
podcast name.
yes, true.
It's your alias.
Yeah.
So Pink Pony 818 Tracy did Red Hill Fire Tower, and she was pretty keen on the leave no trace aspect of it. I forgot her exact words. I don't think, even though we've said some pretty crazy stuff this podcast, but she said some pretty awesome stuff. Hold on.
About leave no trace.
Yes, because somebody left a trace, and she.
Well, speaking while you're looking that up, did you see where somebody posted a bunch of people around a sign-in canister that sprayed that squiggly
yes
stuff? Yeah.
No, hold on. Let's wait till that.
Let's wait till then. Do you have some of these canisters with you? We're gonna direct them towards Sean, and
I would like to chat
try
about
to
that.
virtually.
All right, so Darren White, Stimmed 1, went up Catskill High Peak from Gillespie Road on an unusually warm day. We had an unusually warm weekend, so it was crazy. Catskill Mountain Bruce Scott did the triple biscuit, he calls it. That's actually really, really clever. I like it. Fur Big Indian and South Double Top with Zorro and Eric. Zorro, his dog companion, only has 13 left. So the triple biscuit, I like that. That's a new one. What do you think? I think it's good.
The triple biscuit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that name's been out there for a while.
I've never heard of it. Sean?
Triple biscuit. I have heard that.
Everybody's going against me tonight. Screw this. Screw these people that are on here. Why did I even invite these guys on?
Yeah. I think Hikers Anonymous has got a list of names.
Yeah, I think that might be from their little club.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
All right. Hiker Goddess's Adventures. Vicky went tried to go do the Hudson Highlands, but the parking was miserable, so they went and did West Point Foundry. So I am not familiar with the Hudson area. Are you guys?
Yes.
Of course. What do you think, Tad? Are you familiar with this?
Um, I've never done a hike in that area. I've done a lot of cycling around West Point.
So
I, I
Sean,
will I will say I was in the area over the weekend, and Harriman State Park, Bear Mountain was just a complete shit show. Because of the fall foliage.
foliage that we had.
And it was actually quite stunning, but I think there was just everybody and their mother were up
Yep.
driving around. And one point, heading towards Bear Mountain on the Parkway, I know they had one of the exit ramps closed to get up to like Perkins, and they do that usually seasonally, usually around this time of year. So yeah, it was a shit show down there. Yeah.
Wow. So good for her. They went on to the West Point Foundry. So Feral Hollows, Nigel took the family and Stefanos a pocket while Janice tagged her first high peak bushwhack. So congratulations. Many more bushwhacks to go on. And last but not least, Red Hand Adventure Guides. Mike went up Bramley for an appreciation for the Fire Tower Stewards. They did an appreciation event up at Bramley Mountain, my favorite place. So congratulations, Mike. Thank you for stewarding. We really appreciate it. Anybody and everybody who has stewarded this year at the fire towers or the trailheads, anything. Thank you very much. Sean, did you get your hat down at the Catskill Center for being a maintainer?
I didn't go to the Catskill Center, but I did obtain my volunteer hat. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. I did mine today. I finally got it. Last year I didn't get mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know what it was last year. What was it?
Um,
It's like a shirt, right? Or something.
it was. I think I'm wearing it actually.
Oh, geez. Damn, now I'm jealous. All right, that
Maybe.
sucks.
I don't remember what it was. To be honest with
Yeah. Neither do I.
you. Yeah.
Because I didn't get it.
Probably
So,
give me an award for such great trail maintenance that I do.
yes, the hardest trail in the Catskills. Sean maintains trail on Mount Tremper Fire Tower that goes from the base of Mount Tremper all the way up to the fire tower. Definitely.
Not all the way up, only
Yeah.
to the lean-to.
Oh, that'll lean to.
Is that the trail that they have the wild mushroom groves on it?
Yes, yes,
For
indeed.
the, for the,
No, yeah, don't eat the brown mushrooms.
No.
Oh, yeah.
that you planted?
Unless you want to get named on a DEC search and rescue.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So eat them. So,
Yeah.
so thank you, Sean, for volunteering as well. So
You're welcome, Sash. You too. I know you maintain a trail too, right?
yes, it's not that crazy, but
Well, I've had some experiences on
Camel's Hump. Yeah. I remember you guys complaining about it, and then I went up there and nothing was wrong.
it.
I'm glad I got out, but I
Well,
was a
because
little-
we had to clean up your mess.
Yeah.
you did.
And that's why you got the T-shirt.
That's why I got the t-shirt.
Yeah, it even says that right up there. I cleaned up stashes.
Charlie loves me.
Yes.
Charlie
Yeah.
loves me because I'm doing other people's jobs for him.
Fantastic. So
That's
thank
actually a
you.
great trail. That was the first time I ever hiked Thomas Cole from that area, actually. And
It's a nice trail, right?
It is. I like that. I liked it a lot, actually. It was really nice.
You can, the good thing is it's fairly like new, so you can move, you can book down,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
you can there's switchbacks or stuff like that. There's the viewpoints are kind of going away, so hopefully they'll get that under control. But we'll see. I love that. I love that. That's why I volunteer. So thank you to everyone who has tagged the show. Really appreciate it. Keep on tagging. Keep on doing those high peaks and those peaks. Definitely want to hear about it because it's getting colder. People are going to be like, ah. So also buy us a hard cider to support the show. If you think we're doing a good job and you want to show us some report or some support, buy us our coffee hard cider on buymeacoffee.com. Let us know. Rate the show. I know people think that we don't like hunting, but that's wrong. And I know people don't like the intro, and that's wrong as well. You can skip it. So rate the show 5 stars. I'm pretty sure Sean gave us those 1 star about the
That
intro.
was me. I remember you asked me if it was me, right?
I did actually.
He said, "Was that you?" And I said, "No, but I agree with everything that I said."
Well, it's okay. It's okay to think those thoughts. You just can't express them.
Right. I don't know if I've ever reviewed the show. I don't. How do I do that?
Yeah.
You
Well,
might
you
have
give
to
us
go
your
on.
give us your login credentials, and we'll do the work for you.
Right. Okay. Right. No, honestly, like, what do I go to my Spotify app?
So you can go to Spotify, and I think you can just rate it 5-star. But if you have like
Do
Apple
I have to
Podcasts,
rate it a 5-star?
I mean that
Yeah,
would be
because what I've been told is
generous.
if you rate it less than 5 stars,
Uh-huh.
your phone is going to get hacked.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So you need to click
I don't
off
want that
5
to
or
happen. I don't want that.
5 or more stars.
But I don't
Otherwise,
like lying either. So
yeah. So
I
or
don't
your
know.
Garmin device could get hacked, your Strava
my
account.
Strava's going to be compromised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to get the fastest known times up at Mount Tremper and stuff.
Can I leave comments? Can I leave comments in the
Only if they're flattering.
Yeah. To both
Yeah.
of you or just one of you?
Just me. We don't care about
I
Stosh.
could do that. I could do
Yeah.
that.
The creator of the show, the
Good.
runner of the show.
I'm
he
starting
doesn't
to
care.
like this guy, Sean. Yeah, he's all right. I don't care what Stosh says about him. I like him.
Yeah. I like you too, Pat. Even
Thank you. And speaking of that, let's get on to our favorite segment
Yes.
of the show. Right? This is where
Oh,
click your audio settings.
I gotta go.
I've already been drinking like crazy.
I have to put mine in the back in the refrigerator because
it was too long, right?
Yeah. Actually, you know what I have? I have mine in a 40 below winter Nalgene.
Nice.
And that's true. Sean is holding up his 40 below winter super. It's like solar powered, ultra cold.
Right.
He had to put on a pair of mittens.
Beer, so I figured I'd put my beer in a winter insulated koozie that I use my.
All right, here I'm going to go. Ready? Tag goes, and Sean?
Oh.
Sean's late on the draw.
Yeah, that was bad.
The first timer.
I am.
All right.
Rookie.
We'll just have to turn off his audio. We're going to give Sean bad reviews on Spotify.
I hope your reviews go really down with me on the show.
Oh, Jesus. No way.
Yeah.
A saboteur.
You know what I'm...
What are you having, Sean?
I'm drinking a Lawson's Sip of Sunshine. Yeah.
What is that? Lawson's.
It's an IPA. See?
Okay.
Lawson's Sip of Sunshine.
Thank you.
I've had those.
Yeah, they're good. They're really refreshing. Yep.
Yeah,
local or not local?
I believe Vermont.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's I consider that local. That's good.
It's maybe.
Yeah, but you find them a lot of places.
Connecticut, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
they're good. They're good though. I like them.
Tad, what about you, sir?
I think last week I had one of these Other Half Brewing Tour de Juice double dry hopped pale ale.
Name the goddamn company. Jesus, I don't want.
It's the other half brewing.
Other half. Thank
out of
you.
Out of Brooklyn, their Tour de Juice. It's like a beer can riding a bicycle, which is better than the beer can driving a Jeep Wrangler with death wobble. That wouldn't be good promotion. But at any rate, yeah, it's delicious. It's show worthy, and it's refreshing.
Correct. So I am having an Angry Orchard hard cider. It is called a Berry Bewitched. It's part of the Thriller series, which is Halloween based. And it is freaking delicious. And what's funny is I always thought Angry Orchard was up near the Finger Lakes and stuff like that. Nope. It's down freaking in...
It's down by us.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah. I'm seriously like, you got to be kidding me. This is down the Hudson.
You've never been there, Stash?
No.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's wicked. I was just like, seriously, I'm like, I thought this was like Finger Lakes based, but absolutely delicious. The only thing is,
I don't think they make the cider there though. I think it's just their.
No, they do. They have the all the freaking
apple trees. They're called apple trees, Stosh.
Orchards. There's only 5% in this though. That's disappointing.
Yeah. Remember, you had that one that was like treat a can. Wasn't that the ad on one of those? Like treat a can?
Yes. So the Hudson North has 8.2. So that's nice.
And what does the Angry have?
5.
Lightweight.
Yeah,
I
disappointing.
think they're owned by a major corporation.
Ah, suck it. I'm not having them anymore.
If I remember correctly, I feel like some big company owns them. It's
Ah,
a it's like owned by a corporation.
Yeah, there's truth to that.
all
There
right.
is, but yeah.
All right. So, previous hikes. Sean, what did you
Yes.
do this weekend? You had your first trail run, right?
Not my first, my
First?
second trail race. Yeah. Yep, indeed. I did. Yeah, I ran the Big Bear Squatch South half marathon in Harriman State Park on Sunday. Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go over statistics. What do you want to like? How many miles?
13.1 miles.
Hmm.
2 hours and 50 minutes, I think, was my final time. Came in, I don't know what place I have 40th out of 200 or something, I think.
Nice.
I don't
That's
know.
respectable.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. The first time I ever ran a half marathon. So
Hmm.
it was fun. I
Nice.
got stung by a bee.
So you got to run faster then.
And you know what? It didn't really bother me when it happened. It was like, oh, I just got stung, and I just kept going. And the last 2 days, my right forearm, I look like Popeye in my right forearm. It's like swollen like crazy. But
Just what do you think? A regular bee, like just a honeybee, or
I
just
don't even
maybe
know.
like a wasp or something?
No, probably a wasp or something. I don't know.
Or a hornet.
A hornet. It got me
Yeah.
right on the forearm, and I was kind of like, ow, like, and swatted at it and just kept running. And then I'm like, yeah, no big deal. And then yesterday and today, it just swelled up like crazy. It's kind of crazy, yeah. So
Do you
that's what
feel do you feel good?
yeah, I feel great. I feel
Are
good.
you gonna like do it again?
Yeah, I am actually. So I've been kind of trying to run a lot, doing a lot of trail running lately. So in preparation for this race I just ran. So but I never was a runner. I never ran. I always hate running. I don't like road running. And it's what's funny is on this course you end up getting onto one of these old Harriman roads in the middle of the woods that's paved. And it's like I just slowed down immediately from there. This is like I don't know. I think it's mental. Asphalt just slows me right down. I'm like, nope, I don't like this. So
Right. So I mean that's good. Was that with Sasquatch
yeah. So that's
Trailrun?
Kim Levinsky's trail running.
Awesome. Awesome. That's cool to
Yep.
see. She's really doing
Yeah,
really well.
it was a good time. It was a good race. I liked it actually. I liked it a lot actually. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
You said there was like 200 people?
Something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Awesome. She is killing it.
I can find the actual stats somewhere.
Nice. Like I just want to know
Look on
that.
Strava.
I mean,
Ah,
yeah, it is on Strava, but
Yeah.
it is. But like the actual rate,
Yeah. Well, if you look on Strava, you got to push the Garmin logo aside so you
yeah,
can
yeah.
see everything. But
So
Yeah.
apparently that was one of the things with Garmin. Garmin was like, we want our logo on it, and then Strava was like, we're not here to sell logos. But then
didn't I say that in the
So
beginning?
Garmin went back with them, and they're like, yeah, everything you do has your Strava logo on it, So that's actually pretty funny.
True.
So 129 finishers. I came in, I think 40th. Yeah, 40th. Yeah. Yep.
Well, good.
I didn't even do that great in my age group, to be honest with
That's
you.
okay, dude. Just as long as you had a good time, and you enjoyed
I
it,
came in
and
eighth in my age group. That's all I can.
that's pretty
I was at one
significant.
point. I was asking guys I was running with. I'm like, "Hey, how old are you?" And he's like, "You're 52."
Clobber fucking hit him
I'm
with
like,
your
"I gotta
elbow.
get ahead of you. I gotta get ahead of you." That's not no joke. No joke. I literally was doing that. I'm like, "Hey, how old are you?"
Well, congratulations, man. Hopefully you do
Yeah.
more after this, and you tagged the show in this time.
I didn't tag the show in this, did I? Yeah.
No, that's
I
pretty
was
sad.
outside the line. Zzz.
Oh, that's true. All right,
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
well, people still tag us outside the line.
I do. I've actually tagged you outside the
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
You
Only
have.
because I have something sarcastic to say. That's really the only
And
reason.
and if you upload to Strava, just make sure you put our logo on it.
Yes.
I'm going to put the Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tad, what about
we
you?
want to get sued by Strava.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our
So Ted,
lawyers, do we hike more and how?
You have a
All
good-
right. So you want to hear about my hike?
stop yapping. Start chatting
Stop
about your
yapping.
hike.
All right. So let's go back to hiking on Saturday, which was a lovely day for the most part. I hooked up with Danny Davis. It's been a while since he and I got together. And after a little bit of bantering back and forth, we decided to hike Hunter Mountain proper. We were going to do Hunter Mountain in Southwest Hunter, but we just ended up bushwhacking up Hunter Mountain via the Hunter Brook, which when you head out of Spruceton, going up the horse trail, you go over the bridge, that big wooden bridge, before you get to the turnoff to do the bushwhack up Rusk. Flowing under that bridge is Hunter Brook. And so that's where we hooked up at the Hunter Brook. And it's a very interesting water course. It's almost like two different waterways, if you will. There's a little notch that is evident overhead from when the ice melted with the last ice age. And then this brook formed eventually. And so up until that notch, going uphill to that notch, the brook has got really, really steep shoulders to it on either side. And then once you get to that notch above it, upstream from it, it broadens out considerably. So that first segment, you either had to stay in the water or cross over, but crossing over wasn't all that complicated because the water wasn't all that high. Davis pointed out that there's just a lot of moss on the rocks. We have a high velocity or flowing stream that the water washes off the moss off the rocks. But the fact is that this apparently just, doesn't get a lot of water, so the moss can stay on these rocks year round. There was no waterfalls going up, which is indicative of not running into any bedrock, which means you're just going over a lot of glacial debris getting up there, which is interesting when you think about the fact that when the ice sheet or glaciers retreated, they left so much junk behind that in this one waterway, you don't even 10,000 years later get down to bedrock. That's how much stuff was left behind. So it was very interesting. We took quite a while to get up there, but eventually we make our way up to the Hunter Mountain Fire Tower. That's the first time we saw people all day long, and boy, was there a ton of people. It was almost like the Jersey Shore when we got there. Quite the party atmosphere. So after hanging at the fire tower for a little bit, we hiked down what I call Ox Ridge, because the brook on the other side is known as Ox Brook. And we went down this Ox Ridge. It's a very interesting and diverse forest. It's not on Mike Kudish's list of old growth areas, and it doesn't look to have a lot of old growth in there, but there are a lot of really, really cool old trees through there. But it's a long bushwhack down. It's one of the longest whacks you can do in the Catskills because you're basically getting 2,000 vert, either going up that ridge or going up the Hunter Brook. So nonetheless, we got to the bottom. We went to check out the Westkill Brewery, and there was parking or cars parked everywhere along the access road, along the main road. The parking lot was filled. There was like a zillion people roaming around. So it wouldn't be all that relaxing to wait like 20 minutes to get a beer.
Yeah.
So we head over to Local Goods. We dropped my Jeep off at the Catskill Center. So we picked it up, headed over to Local Goods, and I picked up a Tranquil
Tranquilizer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have been mellowed out at the Westkill, but I picked up this Pilsner from Foam Brewers at Local Goods. And I would say it's just got that classic German Pilsner taste with the little hop edge to it. So we were basically the only two people hanging outside of Local Goods, pouring down our ice cold beer, drinking under the canopy there, and having some pretzels. It was a great hike. Had lots of fun. Beautiful weather. Too many people were out and about on Saturday.
So, Ted, when you oh, excuse me, so when you summited Hunter and you started descending, did you descend left or right via the fire tower?
Um, it would have
Left,
been to the
oh,
left.
to the
Yeah,
left of the brook?
yeah. Well, as you're going upstream, it would have been to the right of the brook. As you're
Okay.
going downstream, to the left of the brook.
I call that,
And
I've referred to that as Christmas Tree Ridge or something like that.
oh yeah, it's got a fairly substantial spruce grove at the top, which is what you see when you're hiking that trail on the top of Hunter Mountain. There's a lot of spruce trees and not necessarily balsam fir trees. There's balsam fir trees over on the Devil's Tombstone side, the 214 side of Hunter Mountain, but not in this area.
But it seems like that area that I remember hiking up was just full. Towards the end was more of the short Christmas trees that are new growth, stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's why it was called that.
yeah, but they're bigger than your balsam firs. They're at least twice the height of balsam firs through there. There's spruce trees. There's plenty of them. But the fact that they grow as tall as they do, you're able to get through there relatively easily because, there's just a lot of dead branches that are pretty well spaced apart underneath the live growth on those trees. And then you get into these patchy beech groves as you're going down. The ridge at the upper elevation is kind of like I would call it a butter knife ridge. It's not really narrow and sharp. It's a little bit broader, but not as wide as being on a terrace. But there are areas where you get into wider terraces. But the nice thing I think about that ridge is whether you're going up or down, you run into no rock ledges.
Yeah.
So whether you're going uphill or you're going downhill, you don't run into a situation where you really have to figure out how to get over a rock ledge. And also, there's that knob about halfway down where the old glacial melt channel had cut through. So you got to hike back up that knob. And then once you're going down that last slope to the Spruceton Trail, it's interesting because there are very, very few large boulders. Normally, when you hike through an area like that, you see a lot of these big boulders, some as big as vans just to your left and to your right. But there's a couple rock ledges lower on that slope, but there's very, very few, if any, big boulders, which I think is unique. And there's not a lot of undergrowth going through there. We did find, it was kind of funny because we did that episode on the crone. So we did find this small cave with like a little stream in the back of it. So I looked around with my flashlight trying to find the crone's sister, but she wasn't there. I did see that Greg Newkirk running away with something under his arm. So he might have been there, gotten the crone's sister. Yeah. And then we found some old kitchen cooking things, a couple old plates, a pail, what looked like an old plastic water jug up there. Might have been, an old camp from early 70s or in the 60s, something like that, by looking at the age of the stuff. We left it there.
Nice.
Figuring, it was so old that, and for the most part, it was big enough you don't want to pack that stuff out. And it was kind of more, to me, it was up there so long, it was kind of like of historic importance as opposed to somebody who was up there last summer or the summer before, with the makeshift camp and just left their trash around. The stuff was easily 50, 60
At what
years.
point does something become historic?
22.7 years.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia.
Oh, nice. Well, cool. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, that's hard to say. It was a great hike. You had lots of fun. Cold beer afterwards. Looking forward to the next one. How about you, Stosh? You been hiking at all?
Oh, so finally got out today. And I got to admit, today was my most favorite bushwhack ever. So my goal was to set out to do Ashokan High Point from the east, from the wagon wheel area.
Hmm.
And I was just like, you know what? I really like the knob, what they call Little High Point, whatever you call it. That is a great place to just get some views to enjoy. I would say a temporarily above tree line in the Catskills, one of the areas that you can. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do this shit, and I'm gonna have a good time. So I parked off of Route 3, which is like Kerhonks and Samsonville area. There's this little snowplow turnaround that doesn't say like no parking or whatever. So I parked there, walked, like road walked probably like, God, I don't even know how many, like 1,000 yards to the wagon wheel area. Hung a left right where it says DEC area, which is newly purchased DEC area. And then I started banging west up the wagon wheel. And then, I'm like, oh, cool. That wasn't that bad. And then all of a sudden I start gaining up and I see the ledges of the wagon wheel, which was absolutely insane.
Hmm.
50 to 100 feet ledges. And I'm like, oh, how the hell am I going to get past this? There's rock scree everywhere, sliding, slipping, stuff like that. I'm like, eventually, I'll find an area. So I like scale it. I find an area I can climb up. It's actually pretty like perfect. It's beautiful.
So but are you talking before you actually get to the western edge of the wagon wheel? As you approach it from the east, you're going uphill, and then you get to the cut itself. Is this before you cross over the cut?
Right in the middle.
So you went down an elevation into the cut itself?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I went back up and scaled kind of.
So when you went back up, did you go back up like where it was all rock exposed?
Yes.
Okay. And were there any hawks? Did you see any hawks up there?
Nope.
No, really? When I was up there, it was just loaded with hawks.
No, I didn't see any hawks. I got above that area, and then from there on, it was the greatest bushwhack ever.
Oh yeah, why wasn't it great up until the point where you cross over the wagon wheel?
Because I was a little scared that being by myself, that I would slip down, fall, and then something would happen. But eventually, once again, you kind of trust you're like, this is a little bit too steep for me. Like, I can't do this, I can't scale this. And I found a way up that was absolutely perfect, just kind of like a switchback way. And then up above that, it just goes flat prairie and then a ledge, flat prairie, then a ledge, all the way up to the knob. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. It's a pretty interesting forest through there. The notch itself is rather intense. And if you know
it's a hell of a gain.
Yeah. But it's like a deep V cut through there.
Yeah. It's just so in a matter of I tracked it 1.9 miles. Take out how many feet I gained?
10 vertical feet in 1.9 miles. What do you say, Sean?
Do I think that's Can you repeat that?
He's not listening.
Trying to bring him back into the conversation here. He's like eating gooey caramel candies or something. So he's like
pretzels.
Yeah. With his Lawson's IPA. All right, Stosh, you went 1.9 miles. I'm going to say 900 feet of vertical.
Jesus, not at all.
No?
More?
Wow.
I'm going to say 1,700.
Keep going.
17,004.
Up to Ashokan High Point, it was 2,400 feet of gain.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And 1.9 miles?
1.9 miles. That's a rival to, Devil's Path stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is it's just like, it's not super steep. It's like, once again, ledge, little 10-foot ledge, flat prairie, and then you just ascend so much. And I kind of felt like my hiking poles were more of like ice axes because of how steep it was. You had to grip and then pull yourself up, grip then pull yourself up. But once you got to the knob, beautiful. Bear shit all over the bear scat all over the place. That is a very, what is that? Is that, it's not bramble. What is that brush up there? That's like ankle height. That's kind of like, it's not mountain laurel. It's something else.
How,
Is it hobble bear, a hobble bush?
Hobble bush would be taller than that.
Okay,
Taller
so
than ankles.
it's like ankle knee length, and it wasn't bad. It's not like it tripped me like mountain laurel, but got up to the knob, went up. I was like, do I really want to summit Ashokan High Point? I guess I will. Fucking A. There was a nice actually herd path going up from there to Ashokan High Point, which is pretty crazy because I didn't think anybody would be there. I come up to the summit of Ashokan High Point, and all of a sudden I see this dog, which I kind of freak out because I think it's something else. I think it's like a bear, and I start screaming like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And I realize it's a dog, so I'm like, "Oh, hey, you're fine." It was a nice dog. I met this guy named Kevin. Looked like a trail runner. Had the backpack that had minimal with like two things at the front. So we chatted a little bit. He's done the SRT, stuff like that. Pretty cool guy. He wants to start doing the Adirondacks. I told him, fuck the Adirondacks, stick with the Catskills, go to the Whites. And he was just like, oh yeah. I'm just like, yeah, it's the Adirondacks suck, man. Like, so we chatted, and then he's just like, you came from a different way. I'm like, oh yeah, I bushwhacked up through that way. And he's like, oh yeah, me and Mike Sudi bushwhacked that. I'm just like, oh, freaking Mike Sudi. I'm like, legend. I'm like, that guy is crazy. So we chatted, headed back down, hit the herd path, which was, once again, it's not well defined, but you can kind of see the trampling here and there, which is really cool. It's helpful, but you lose it, you're done. And if you don't know what you're doing with the mountain laurel, you're going to run into some problems up there because the mountain laurels suck. And I suggest if anybody's going to do this, kind of look at the Google Maps because it shows you where the thickest shit of mountain laurel is and you can avoid it. And got back to the summit of High Point, Little High Point, the knob. What do you call it, Ted?
I call it Little High Point the Knob.
Okay.
That's the original name I came up with.
Sean, have you ever been there, buddy?
No.
Oh, you haven't. That's a good. Let's do it sometime. That would be a fantastic hike.
Like with you?
I mean, yeah. If you trust me.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I can
That
agree.
sounds enthusiastic.
Right.
Yeah.
So from there on, dude, it was great, but there are some times when I feel like I could have used micro spikes going on the descent because it's so steep.
Yeah.
But so like loose that you just slide down like snow. And it was just an amazing hike, but total of 4.2 miles with 2,400 feet of elevation gain. I was just like, holy shit. Like my when I did the Gaia, it said like 5 point something miles. But no, it's 4.2 miles with 2,400 feet of elevation gain. That's
so,
beast.
When you set out and you enter this wagon wheel area, are there any signs posted to stay the fuck off the wagon wheel property?
No, it's DEC signs.
Okay.
It shows you right when you turn on Route 3, there's big DE sign. They've marked it pretty well now.
So that the indication is this area is open for hiking.
Correct.
Yeah.
It says on Gaia future DEC, which I don't know what the fuck that means.
So if any of our listeners go to hike this area, make sure you park in a cool spot so we don't give the area a bad name because there's a lot of private homeowners in that area. But when you need to cross over the notch, the best place to cross over the actual wagon wheel notch is by going to the south and crossing over there. You'll see a lot of interesting stuff down there. It looks like it used to be a quarry over on the south side, but definitely, approach the notch and try to hit it more from the north, walk along the easterly boundary of that notch, and then cross over to the south. Or I crossed over it at the north as well, which is kind of an interesting forest up there.
That's why I crossed. It's the south.
Yeah. Did you see any signs of like people having picnic areas along the notch.
No picnic areas, stuff like that. Not like you would encounter on North South Lake with,
But what about like Dibble's Quarry with
Nope.
signs that people had built stone
Nope.
chairs and fire rings? Yeah, I saw a lot of that activity along that notch. I saw at least 3 areas where it looked like people had set up little campsites or picnic areas to hang out. I also saw a lot of ATV tracks there.
I must have avoided that whole section.
Yeah.
I encountered right after the climb, when I was going out the wagon wheel, it was just one of the most magnificent bushwhacks that I've encountered. It was just nice elevation gain with open forest that it was just that, and it was orange, yellow, stuff like that. The colors were all over the place.
Yeah, your photos look really nice. I'll say that people seem to stay away from this because it's not over 3,500 feet, so it's not really on a list of places to go in the Catskills. But hiking to Ashokan High Point from the Watson Hollow Road or from Route 3, I think it's a spectacular hike. There's also a few other ways to get up there over the South Mountain.
Yeah, that's the one I want to try next. So
yeah,
fantastic day, beautiful day. So
cool.
I loved it. All right, so awesome. Glad everybody got out. Volunteer New York, New Jersey Trail Conference. Sean and I already do that. Tad's got to get in on that. 3,500 Club Catskill Trail Crew. Tad has done that, so I'll give him that. Catskill Mountains Club Visitor Center Jolly Rovers Trail Crew. And if you need stickers, let me know. I can get you some, or go to Camp Catskill. So once again, I'm unprepared for the weather forecast. Jesus, I'm talking too much.
Early winter, mild temperatures, lows in the 30s overnight, highs in the 40s, low 50s. That's what I see for the weekend.
So Friday, we're hitting a high of 34 with a low of 18 at night, but it looks to be clear with partly cloudy skies. Saturday looks to be a high of 34, but a low with wind chill of 19 degrees in the morning. Sunday looks to be clear with a high of 37 and a low of 25 in the morning. We're getting to those times that we're going to talk about.
Is this Slide Mountain?
Balsam Lake.
Oh, really?
So that has a lot of wind usually. So that's a good wind chill factor area. So, all right. So let's get on to our last set of sponsors. Pause because I'm going to have Diana do this actually. So I'm going to put Diana in this. So this is going to be fun.
Discover the wilderness with Trailbound Project. Our expert-led hiking and backpacking education programs offer unparalleled outdoor experiences. Whether you're a beginner or seasoned adventurer, join us to learn essential skills, explore stunning trails, and connect with nature. Start your journey today with Trailbound Project and unlock the wonders of the great outdoors. All right, discover Camp Catskill in Tannersville, your ultimate hiking store. Find top quality gear, apparel, and accessories for all your outdoor adventures. Our expert staff is here to help every hiker, from beginners to seasoned pros. We also carry a variety of unique Catskill souvenirs and gifts. Visit us online at Camp Catskill or in the store to gear up for your next journey. Adventure starts at Camp Catskill.
All right, so let's get on to the topic of the night.
Let's go.
Cue it. Do it.
Did you hear it?
No, not at all. Damn it.
Yeah,
That sucks.
We have to teach Sean the pro tip. But before we move on, I came up with a new segment that I forgot to mention.
Shit. Sorry.
All right. So
Stump Stosh, because I loved Stump Stosh.
So did I.
I were probably the only two that loved it.
Yeah.
Everyone else was like, "Oh, I feel so bad for Stosh," but I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Yeah, I thought I was at my best during that.
I did too. I thought I was going to nominate you for a daytime Emmy.
My shining moment. All right. So the new segment is, ready, listen closely, post-hike ticks and bites. Stosh, you didn't tell us if you got any ticks or bites on your bushwhack today.
Or in his bush.
True. There's no bush. Number one. Number two, I did pull a tick off of my hand, and then later on I did pull a tick off. I not in like gorging to my skin, but I did pull a tick off. So
Okay.
there's something
So there
going
you go.
on.
That's tonight's post-hike
Yes.
ticks and bites report from Stosh.
What's funny about that is this spring I picked more ticks off of me this spring. They were so bad this spring, and since summer it's been like not one tick. It's really weird.
And I'm freaking getting screwed over here.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Like
I spray
it's-
myself. So I think this year my pre-hike bug spray game is down perfect. I'm using a mix of equal parts DDT, gasoline, and diesel.
yeah.
And I douse myself in this stuff. I stay away from an open flame while hiking, but shit just stays away from me. It works
Chlordane,
really well.
that's another good chemical to slather on your body.
What's that?
Chlordane. Another
Oh
good
yeah.
chemical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another banned substance.
Nothing like them. Nothing like them.
Yeah.
All right. So topic of the night tonight is winter prep and early winter gear and winter gear somewhat. So we're going to chat about what you should do to prep for the winter that is upcoming winter that's happening, and maybe some gear that you could maybe like touch up on, maybe get some new winter gear, stuff like that. So I was going to say, tell us a little background about yourself, Winter. Sean, we already know about each other, but a little background about yourself. You've hiked your 3500er. You
Yeah.
had a hiking company, like stuff like that. So
I am a licensed guide.
licensed guide.
I am still a licensed guide. Yep. Yep. I do that. Yeah. What else do you want to know?
Do you still do stuff with scenic route guiding?
Yeah, I would say I do.
Okay, cool.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That is
That's
Jesus
pro quality.
Christ.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? Show's over now.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Sean
yeah.
just wants to quit. So
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Nothing to
Yeah.
say.
that's like a
Ted wins.
Mic
Ted
drop.
wins tonight.
Yeah.
I win
So-
I win the can opening contest.
Yeah, you do.
So all right.
So, Sean, you were previous on an episode.
I was on another episode of yours.
I think it's
Very long time ago.
102. I think it was.
That
We
was the
did
last episode I listened to, so I'm trying to remember when that was. That was a long time ago, right?
bullshit.
Just
Like,
look out at
you've
your
been
lawn,
talking
just
about.
look out at the yard and you can gauge by how tall the grass is the last
Yeah.
time you listened to an episode.
I've mowed my lawn probably 350 times since that last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you joined me for winter hiking and stuff like that. You've been through your
I
types
did.
of winter.
The same exact topic as it is tonight.
It is, and that's
Like,
great.
So what I did was I recorded that episode, and I'm just gonna press play and sit back.
Gotcha. It's
Yeah.
like
Hell
it's
yeah.
like AI without
Yeah.
the I.
Exactly. So with prepping for winter, we want to talk a lot about, like, do you guys waterproof stuff? Like, do you do your Tad suggested this before, but what is it called, Tad? What do you use?
Nick Wax.
Yeah, Nick Wax.
Not
you
that I
both-
listen. I don't listen, but I think he uses Nick Wax. Yeah.
Nick Wax makes a whole suite of products for maintaining your technical gear, from what is recommended to wash it with and what's recommended to try to refresh or reinstate its water protection, waterproofing, water repellency without introducing those forever chemicals into the environment. And there's other products out there other than the Nick Tech line of products on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's a pretty integrated and user-friendly set of products.
I mean,
I use Nick Wax. Yeah.
okay,
I do.
same.
I usually do my boots every year.
Yeah.
I
So-
take the shoelaces out. I try to make sure my shoe. That's actually one good tip is to double check your shoelaces on your winter boots, because they tend to wear out because you're tightening them, and then you have snowshoe bindings over them and micro spike rubber bands over them. So
or
Sure.
spikes hitting them.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I usually check my laces, sometimes change them, and I'll keep one extra lace in my pack somewhere too, because I did actually run into that one time where my a lace broke, and I was like, "Whoops!" And I just ended up having to tie it together because I wasn't prepared, But you know,
So it gets you into that sense of being prepared for that sort of situation.
hmm.
So now, both of you, do you nick wax your like pants, your backpack, stuff like that?
It's a personal question that it's a little private, but I
I
do.
mean, I wouldn't say it's in a private, but yeah,
Yeah,
you do
I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
backpack at all?
Not my backpack. I have a rain shell that I spray with the Nick. It's like a spray.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like a gourd. I forget what it's called. It's over there. I can grab it and read the label off of it. But yeah, it's like a waterproofing agent that I spray on my shell once a year. The one
Nice.
thing with that is I feel like because I'm not a folder when I pack stuff in my bag. It's just kind of stuffed in because
Yep.
but I think all that stuffing in and crinkling ends up definitely wearing off some of the protective ability of the spray. So, but I like to spray it once a year, like my shell pants, my shell jacket, my shell gloves. I have gloves that actually I have mittens actually that are shell mittens that I'll spray.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it's,
basically everything.
Not my pack.
yeah.
What I do on my pack is I do have a rain cover. I don't really carry it much in winter. I have a winter pack, and I get a what they call a compactor trash bag. It's like a extra thick black trash bag. And everything that I don't want wet, I put inside that bag, inside my pack, and roll it down. That's what I do. Because if that's just what I do.
Yeah. Ted, how about you?
Yeah. So like Sean, I have my own system. But I start off every winter in terms of my apparel. I wash it at the end of the season, then I wash it at the beginning of the next season. And then I spray all of the outer gear with this Nicky Wax TX Direct, which is one of these environmentally friendly sprays. I did it this weekend. I hit the spots that are more exposed or prone to getting wet, like your butt when you sit down. You don't want snow melting and getting through your pants and your thighs. I give a double shot to. But the thing that makes you cold in the winter the fastest is the wind getting through your gear and water getting through your gear. So it's important to keep it as waterproof as you can, but yet maintain it being breathable so you don't start steaming and sweating inside. Then with my boots, I do like Sean. I spray them with the Nick Wax waterproofer, and they have a couple different flavors, one for suede boots and one for regular leather boots and surfaces. So I give those a treatment at the beginning of the season. And then inside my pack, I do two things. I have a waterproof sack for what I'm going to call my regular gear that I'll be grabbing throughout a typical hike, like a really thin, lightweight shell that I would be taking on and off during a hike, and maybe some other gear that I'll be putting on when I reach the summit, and on my way down, I'll have on. But stuff that I'll use typically on every hike. And then there's one of those waterproof compression sacks I keep in my pack that for each winter I have been hiking. Since I started hiking in the Catskills, I've had this waterproof compression pack in my backpack with a bunch of puffy gear, really warm gloves, a hat, just basically everything to put on if or in that rare occasion, I'm hiking with somebody and we had to stop moving and we're likely to get cold. I have all that shit in that pack that I normally wouldn't be touching during a hike. And I keep it in a separate bag so it kind of minimizes the possibility that it's ever going to get wet. Because if you fall in the East Branch of the Neversink, and you get all your gear wet.
They need to put a bridge there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's over on the West Branch by the Slide Mountain
right.
parking area. If you were a regular listener of the show, Sean, you would know that very well now. But on the East Branch, which if you're doing the Fisherman's Path in the winter, and you're coming up or down that East Branch, you can cross over many, many, many times. Each time you cross over, you're prone to falling in. I listened to a podcast of a young lady who did her ADK hikes, and she gives this account where she fell into a stream or a river, and she was in it for maybe 30 seconds, but that's long enough in the winter.
I just heard
What's that?
I just listened to that podcast also.
Yeah, I think her name's Isabel.
We're
Yeah.
not
Interesting.
we can't mention the other podcast name, obviously, for
Yeah. So we're just going to bleep that out. So
Yeah.
you can, when you get wet, you get cold really fast. So I keep all this other stuff in that separate watertight, stuff sack. And I have never ever used any of that stuff on a winter hike, thankfully.
I actually do the same thing in a roundabout way. There's things I stuff down there, and it's if you have to, because we're hiking in extreme low conditions sometimes. So like, if let's say I twisted my ankle and I need to sit there and wait an hour and a half for somebody to show up to drag me out. That's kind of like the shit hits the fan. I'm going to put the puffy pants on, the puffy, and every other piece of gear I have on, and hunker down if I had to, or if I'm with somebody or that needs that gear too, or somebody to help them out.
So when we talk about puffy pants, do yours have full length zippers?
Yeah. So and they're synthetic puffy pants.
Yes.
Synthetic. Yep.
Why is that important that they're full length zippered legs?
Because you're gonna have boots on, probably with spikes, and to get them on, you're not gonna pull them over your boots and spikes. So you need to unzip them completely and make sure you can get them on and over your legs.
Yeah. Or what if you had a broken ankle? You're not going to be pulling your boot off and going through all that manipulation to get. You would arguably, because you don't want to freeze to death, but it would be so painful. So it's just so much easier to have full length zippers on your synthetic pants, so you can get them on easier than if you had to take your boot off, God forbid.
And
the other thing with synthetic is, while everybody has this preference for down because it's light and has a high thermal property, its thermal properties go nearly to zero when you get it wet. So synthetic retains its insulating properties or qualities even when wet. So that's an important consideration when you're out winter hiking, is if your gear does get wet, is it still going to work?
Yeah. And I've seen people do this in winter. They'll hike with their down puffy jacket on, and I'm like, why are you hiking with that on?
Yeah.
Not only it's your body sweat is just filling up those down feathers, and it's decreasing the properties of the insulation effects of the down. Makes no sense to me. I never hike with a down puffy on or a puffy on. It's always one of those things like you get somewhere, you want to eat a snack, or you're taking a break, or you have to summit. The puffy goes on, hold all that body heat in, and then it comes off the minute I start walking.
Yeah. It's a lot of. I have that, of course, packed in my pack mostly all the time in the winter. But a lot of the stuff that I seriously have 24/7 when I travel is the synthetic. The leggings, a long sleeve shirt, and a moisture wicking t-shirt, and socks, always in my pack, just to be safe, because you never know, you might run into that situation of someone might need some help, like you said, is hypothermic or something like that, and you need to help them out. Who knows? I have that always in my pack, which is crazy. Is it crazy? Like,
no. No,
Okay.
because I mean, you see some of these wait times for a rescue. Maybe an hour is sustainable, but unless you're at Catskill Falls, there's few places in the Catskills that you're gonna get assistance within an hour.
Yeah.
At a minimum, you're looking at 2 hours. But like when Davis and I were, midway going up Hunter Brook this weekend, yeah, even though you're relatively close to a road, it's a minimum of 3 hours before somebody's going to get there.
Yeah.
So let me ask you,
Sean.
Stosh, Mr. Search and Rescue, do you carry with you like a sit pad or a full pad in your winter? Sean is nodding his head up and down. Stosh, what do you say? You got a pad with you? You should?
I should, but I don't.
Yeah. I figure if I was in that situation, I would just use my backpack.
I was just about to say a lot of times I do like to carry a sit pad, but sometimes I don't. 9 times out of 10, I actually sit on my pack. It insulates you from the ground.
Yeah, 9 out of 10, I
I'm
don't
gonna
sit at
crush,
all.
It's just it kind of raises you up off the ground and you just sit right on that pack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of people with the pads themselves.
It's very being search and rescue. It's very useful. Of
Mhm.
course, it keeps you that separation of the cold of the floor, and then of course your warmth. So it's very useful. But I mean, if I were to go on a search and rescue like mission, yes, I would carry it. If not, I always have, for some reason, I'm a psycho. I always have a freaking like sleeping bag or something with me, just in case. Like, just as so many times I've heard of people having like hypothermia that it just scares the shit out of me that that magic bag that can go down to, 0 degrees will help them regain that strength to help them get back on the trail is just, I don't know. I like my pack today. It was freaking beautiful day. 60, 65 degrees was probably around 30, 35 pounds. That's just
Ouch.
exactly.
Ouch.
Like
Yeah.
I go all, and it was by myself. I was solo. What the hell do I need to carry that much weight for?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's if you're prepared, then you're prepared. That's my
I was
view.
going to see nobody else, but the one thing that, that I find pretty crazy with the Catskills. I mean, it's not that bad as in the whites and stuff like that, is the fact that cotton, like, we chatted with people. Well, to be honest, sorry, Ted, I'm not trying to diss you, but I've chatted with people that they've hiked up in jeans and stuff like that, and flannels, stuff like that, and they totally have completed the 3,500 in that, but they're just like totally regret it as well. They're just like, man, that was some shitty times of when we climbed to North Dome, breaking trail in 6 to 8 inches of snow, and we had a beer at the top.
Yeah.
I love it, but I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you guys are psychos.
Yeah. Had you told me that cotton kills back in the 70s when I was skiing all over the Northeast,
you should be dead on these.
Yeah, you would be on these chairlifts, which would have you above the trees. And back in the 70s, the chairlifts were notorious for shutting down. And so you would be on this chair above the trees in Vermont, like at Stowe Mountain, and stuck there for 15, 25 minutes. And the chair's blowing around to the left and the right because the wind's, up in the 30 miles an hour. And you would be wearing your jeans. Okay. And back then, tech gear was like a, Levi's jean jacket and a turtleneck shirt. That's what we had.
I was about to say that. Yeah. I literally have a picture of me and friends in Hunter Mountain, like in 1991 skiing, and I'm wearing jeans and like a denim shirt with a turtleneck underneath it.
Yeah, right. And there was no such thing as Gore-Tex.
And just like a ski jacket.
Yeah, and down was for pillows back then. So, I survived all that stuff, so hiking gear and alpine gear is so much more comfortable today as long as you properly maintain it with your Nicky Wax gear. You don't have to go out in the winter with cotton. You can go out with synthetics. So
Yeah, and to be honest, you don't have to spend the greatest amount of money to get this stuff. Like, to be honest, I've gone to like, EMS, and then sort of times at like Walmart and stuff to get the moisture wicking stuff.
Where Mart?
It's called Walmart.
Walmart. Oh,
I
very
know
good.
they don't have that down near you guys. They probably have like Target or stuff like that,
Yeah.
the more high end in the city kind of stuff, Orange County stuff. So
I've actually purchased some gear on eBay used.
I
Like
mean, I mean,
I have a friend of mine that gets a lot of stuff on eBay.
yeah, I've
And
I've gotten snowshoes on eBay. I had a down jacket that was in my pack I never wore that I got on eBay, but it was like, I don't think the guy that I bought it from even wore it itself. There's also in New Paltz, Rock and Snow has the Annex, which
Rock and
is
Snow. I've gotten more good gear at Rock and Snow.
yeah.
Yeah.
And at the Annex, it's all full of used gear and manufacturer overstock and demo stuff, so you can get some really good gear there, dirt cheap, and then just Nicky wax it to death, or
They,
Nick wax it.
they have like the Annex is like a consignment shop, so
Yeah,
almost like a thrift shop, but they also have overstocked stuff that
yeah,
they'll sell there
yeah,
also. I've gotten a lot of good gear there.
yeah. Go ahead, say it, Sean. It's the Salvation Army
It is
for
the
the
Salvation
outdoors
Army
person.
of hiking gear. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I actually have a gift card somewhere for it that my daughter gave me, and
awesome.
last time I was there, I was like, "Oh, I have a gift card, but I don't have it on me," and they couldn't
Yeah,
find it in the system,
yeah,
so I have to go back.
crazy.
I have to
So
go back.
check out Rock and Snow and Camp Catskill as well. So they have good
definitely.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the one thing that I like to do is to before once again that we start hitting the ice and the cold season up top is to check your spikes, see if they're sharpened. You know, once again we have like three forms of spikes here in the Catskills and stuff. We got micro spikes, trail crampons a little more aggressive, and then full on crampons where you have to get up the steep, crazy sections of I would say the Catskills, which I never had to use, but uh, like the Adirondacks, stuff like that. So check them, sharpen them. Do you guys like use Dremel, stuff like that? Have you ever sharpened your crampons?
So, you don't want to use a machine to sharpen your crampons or spikes. You want to use a rasp, do it by hand.
Oh,
So, what you really want to do is you need to get like a vise and use a hand sharpener because the Dremel and or a sharpening stone spins too fast and it overheats the metal, which actually weakens the metal.
Hmm.
This is what I've been told. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I take mine to the guy down the street that sharpens chainsaws.
right.
Right?
oh,
It's the guy in your
Probably
neighborhood
using
that has like,
Probably using a
yeah, he butchers deer and he
right,
sharpens chainsaws. And if you bring your micro spikes, he'll sharpen them for you.
yeah.
But you know what I do when my spikes get worn out, the micro spikes, I just buy a new pair and I use the old ones as my rock spikes in
Sure.
the spring.
I call them my micro nubs. I call them, and I use
Yeah.
them kind of like in this, like the Adirondacks. They would be used now because it's kind of like the shoulder season.
Mhm.
You're definitely getting some ice up there, but it's not ice where you're really digging in. It's kind of like that thinner ice, so you don't really need the full on grip of him. I guess
Yeah. Yeah. When you're going to be hiking on more rock than
Or
ice,
rock,
it's nice
right?
to have the
Yeah.
nubs out or your
Yep.
rock spikes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's the difference between like micro spikes, trail crampons, and full on crampons too, as well. So you
Yeah.
got your micro spikes were for like the lower, kind of like the medium elevation. You get to the higher elevation, your trail crampons come in for the aggressive ice. And then the full on crampons, once again, not really needed in the Catskills unless you hit those hardcore areas that are full on wet and icy.
I would say in the Catskills, you're using those more for like ice climbing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've never had an opportunity. Oh, well, I come down from Plateau that one time was insane that I used my trail crampons because I was freaking scared as shit. But never have I gone up in the Catskills anywhere, even on the Devil's Path. uh, with Wittenberg Cornell, where I've had to use full-on crampons to dig myself in.
I did the Devil in a Day in winter a few years ago, and I believe I put my 10-point crampons on it to go down. What was the one where they put the rungs? Which one was that?
Twin.
Down Twin.
Yeah.
I think I put them on for that because it was just a sheet of ice. And then somebody tied like some old piece of rope there, and I'm like, I'm not gonna trust. Like those ropes are like, I don't. First of all, you don't know how long the thing's been there. You don't know who tied it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
gonna. You can't trust a rope. And that's one other thing. Is like don't trust ropes that you just find. Like, oh, there's a rope. I'm gonna trust it.
Yeah.
Like number one, you don't know who tied the rope there. You don't know where it's tied to. You don't know the integrity of the rope. You don't know what it's rated for. So, you know, yeah, I don't trust ropes. I don't
That's
believe strapping either. Like I know people bring strapping and all that other stuff, and I've spoken to people like, "Oh, I'm getting strapping because I'm going winter hiking." I'm like, "Do you know how to use strapping?" And they're like, "No." It's like, well, why are you bringing it then?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. My wife says to just tie it around my neck and around a tree and I'm good to go.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know if she's pulling my leg or what. So, but when it comes to traction equipment in the Catskills, I know Catula makes a K10 hiking crampon and a KTS hiking crampon.
Yeah.
I have the
correct.
KTS, and that's what I would say I use for the most severe conditions in the Catskills.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Hill Sound trail crampon, which is kind of in between a micro spike and a crampon, is pretty much all you need is a micro spike and the Hill Sounds. And then if you want to up your game, get those beefier Catula K10s or the KTS. They're more of they're closer to a mountaineering crampon without needing mountaineering boots.
Right. And but the key too is before you head out with these, make sure they're adjusted and fitted to your boot properly.
Yeah.
I have the Hill Sound crampon pro crampons, the 10 pointers, and I have a size 12 foot, and I had to actually get the extension bar for it because it
Oh
wouldn't
wow.
fit the boot. So if you didn't know that and you head out like, oh, I have these, I'm going to throw them in my pack, and you head out there, and then you realize like, oh, they're not going to fit on your boot because you don't have the extension. So it's important to make sure everything fits your boots properly, your crampons are fitting properly, and all that stuff prior to heading out. You don't want to be out there and try to put them on. You can't because they're not fitting properly, you know?
Correct. And the one thing that is probably the most, I wouldn't say controversial topic in the Catskills, but the ice is probably the most significant search and rescue topic that we have is the ice. And with the people not wearing the proper gear, like the trail crampons, the micro spikes, even a lot of the times micro spikes can't get you up to that certain spot that you need up on the Devil's Path, that they're not aggressive, and people don't realize that, and the micro sparks around $60. You get the trail crampons, they might nowadays are probably like 70-80 bucks. Trust me, both are worth it. And you carry both of them, everybody's going to be like, god damn, it's making my pack heavier. It's goddamn worth it. Especially, if you run into a situation of where somebody is having a difficult time getting down the trail, and you have to give away those shitty micro spikes that you've had for like 6, 7 years to help them get down the trail. You know, you're the Lord and Savior. You're Jesus Catskill Christ. You know, it's just I find I always carry my micro spikes and trail crampons just in case. And then, if I got to give away those micro spikes with somebody to help their day out, I will.
Yeah,
It's
I've done that.
I've
I
done it.
carry I normally in the winter I'll have 2 pairs of traction gear with me, and when I'm going to a popular spot where I'm going to be on trail, I carry a pair of throwaways with me. And I remember one time a young couple heading up Panther late in the day in the winter, no traction equipment. So I was on my way down. I gave away my cheap Amazon brand micro spikes and then the throwaway ones to them. Probably saved somebody having to go out at like 6:30, 7 o'clock to get them off the mountain because they were struggling going up, but they were determined, to get to the summit and come down presumably after dark. But
yeah. So what do you guys do when like part of I've had this situation before where your spikes or your trail crampons, like the rubber part rips apart. You know, I was actually, I'll share my experience. I was actually going up with the 3500 Club presidents to Westkill Mountain when one of my macro spikes broke, and I had to use kind of like
zip tie.
I used the zip tie for one of them, and then the other one broke, and I used just like god damn, like one of my shoelaces for that. And it was pretty crazy because we were going up and over Westkill and then down St. Anne's and then back around. So like this happened in the beginning, like not even like a half a mile in. So I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna look like the idiot now. But what do you have? Do you have any backup kind of gear to help you with this kind of stuff with snowshoes and trail crampons as well?
Yeah. So I always will have 2 pair of traction devices with me in the winter. So if one of them, if my traction device on my right foot fails, I've got something else in the backpack to go to. And I do bring with me a few things to do on trail repairs. I get some of those little aluminum S hooks, and I get the aluminum ones as opposed to stainless steel because they're easier to crimp together with your Leatherman. When you're on trail, your Leatherman's got the pliers that come out of it, so you can do a trail repair of your crampons or your hill sounds with I bring 3 or 4 of those little aluminum S clamps. The other thing I bring with me is I bring a couple small nuts and bolts in the event that the clevis pin that holds the snowshoe binding to the snowshoe platform breaks. Usually that thing is fastened. The clevis pin is held on with a little round, I don't know what they call those things, but it's like a keychain loop that you got to thread through the hole at the end of the clevis pin. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
Right? So imagine trying to do that, to thread that little keychain hoop through that little bolt on the end of the clevis pin in the winter with your bare hands, and it's 10 degrees outside. And it takes 5 to 10 minutes to do that. Right?
Nice.
That's pretty cold, right? So at the beginning of the season, like on the snowshoes I use all the time, I had to replace the clevis pins on it this season because that little hole was elongated, looked like it could just fail at any time on the trail. So I replaced them. You can buy replacement parts from MSR directly or elsewhere on the web. But also when I'm on trail, I have a couple short bolts with the lock nut to go on because I think it's just so much easier to put a bolt through there, although it's going to wear out the binding faster than the clevis pin would. It's just a lot easier to do that trail repair with a nut and bolt than using a clevis pin. So that's my pro tip on snowshoe repairs.
I use MSR snowshoes, and they do sell like a repair kit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I do carry that with me.
Yeah. But now's the time to check out that clevis pin because I've noticed I've had my go-to MSRs 6 or 7 years now, and this is the second time I've replaced those clevis pins.
Well, hey, check everything before you go. Yeah, that's a creative little idea. But once again, the what's it called? Q-tips. Not Q-tips. Zip ties. Sorry, the zip ties are very helpful when you're doing winter hiking and stuff like that because they're very lightweight. I mean, maybe some of these lightweight hikers might be like, oh, that adds 0.02 grams to this, but if you carry 10 of them, that could help you out, some other people out as well in the
Mhm.
situation in a multiple times as well as just your own.
Yeah. So I don't think the zip ties would fix a broken snowshoe strap, particularly on a like an MSR. But Sean, do you carry
You never
anything?
know.
Do you carry anything to repair or replace a snowshoe strap if it fails when you're up on Algonquin?
No.
I mean, dude, even
All right. How did he
Jamie
get on the
Kennard
show?
said
Who is
that.
this guy? Jesus.
I do. On my poles, I have duct tape wrapped around the poles, each pole.
Duct tape, yeah.
It carries zip ties. I carry extra shoelaces. A broken strap. What did I break? I broke something once on a snowshoe on the Adirondacks, actually. Coming down Marcy, going towards Gray. One of my crampon tips cracked off, and the people I were
Huh.
hiking with were anti-MSR snowshoe. They were all atlas wearers, and of course,
Yeah.
all I did was hear about how shitty MSR snowshoes were.
Yeah.
I'm still loyal to them. I kind of like them.
Yeah.
They did repair them. I had to send it back to them to repair it. I know some people that had the same issue, and they're like, "Oh, here's the part," and they sent it to them, and they were able to fix it themselves at home. The person I dealt with at MSR wouldn't refuse to let me do that, and they're like, "No, you need to send it back to us." So, yeah, I just carry basic stuff: duct tape, zip ties, some shoelaces and stuff like that.
I
Uh,
mean, you could figure out something to help you out. And
Yeah.
I talked to Jamie Kennard about this when he did the skiing of the 46 peaks and 3,500. And he said, at this times, you can only deal with one thing at a time. You might as well go down with one snowshoe and not, if you can't fix
oh,
it.
I
If
will tell you this: I lost a snowshoe in a spruce trap in the Santanoni Range a
Hmm.
few years ago. I fell into a spruce trap. I was trying to pull myself out, and as I was pulling my one leg out, the snowshoe rips right off my foot, falls to the bottom of the spruce trap, and so I'm like, okay, and we were the person I was with, we were at or around Times Square area at the Santanoni Range, and I'm like, all right, well, Panther's right here. Let's just grab Panther, and then we'll head out. And you don't realize how ridiculous it is snowshoeing with one snowshoe until you do it.
Mhm.
Especially when you were, so we broke trail the entire way up, and it was snowing at the time. So we ended up having to break trail all the way back out because it was snowing the entire time. And it was not comfortable and not easy to snowshoe,
that's
especially
what he
when you're
said.
breaking trail with one snowshoe. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, I was able to return come late spring, early summer, and I recovered that snowshoe.
No
And
shit.
when I tell you, it was at the bottom of a tree, the spruce trap that I was in. It was like the tree was like 25 feet tall, and I'm like, that's how deep that thing was. So I was like, oh,
Wow.
Impressive.
it's like wow. It was like it was amazing to see how far that thing went down, like how deep the snow was. The snow was that deep. And like after that happened, people were like, why didn't you like dig down and grab the snowshoe? I'm like, it's impossible. Like
25
figure
feet, that would have
it
trapped
is the
me.
perfect example of like, oh, okay, now what do I do? Right? Like I'm stuck in a spruce trap. I was fortunate enough to be able to pull myself out of it, but unfortunately the spruce trap took my snowshoe with it. So people were like, oh, I would have dug down and got the snowshoe. I'm like, I don't think you realize like it was like nowhere to be found. Like it was down there.
Yeah.
And then like as you're like trying to pull yourself out, the snow's falling into it. So like it was just it was ridiculous, you
It's a
know.
cluster.
So we're like, let's just get the hell out of here, and we
Yeah.
did. And it took a while. I'm like hobbling on one snowshoe. You take one step, you'd sink. Take another step, sink. I think at one point I put the snowshoe on the other foot because it was just like you just get tired from one foot overworking more than the other one. I mean, we managed to get out of there, but my proudest moment was packing out. I ended up doing this. I went up there by myself one day. I'm like, I'm gonna get that snowshoe, and I said, I'll do this. I'll do the Santanoni range also. So I did the whole Santanoni range. Came back down. I It took me about 20 minutes to like with my GPS tracking to figure out where I was, and then finally I'm like, holy shit, there it is. There it was, right off the herd, not too far, maybe about 25 feet off the herd path. So we weren't even really on the herd path at that point. Like I said, we were breaking trail, and what was funny is that it's June and I'm hiking out with one snowshoe strapped to my pack, and people are looking at me like, what?
Yeah, what the hell's up with this guy?
You know, do you have a snowshoe with you? Oh yeah, I lost
Oh
that.
yeah, there's snow
I
up in the
lost that back in
Santanoni range.
January.
Like there's 3 feet of snow up there in
Yeah, yeah,
Santanoni
and I
range.
still use it. Still have that snowshoe. So
Hey, I mean, you got to be prepared. Once again, it's you're up in the Adirondack, so it's a whole different story than the Catskills. But still, we might have some deep snow in the Catskills, so you be ready with wrap your poles with some duct tape and stuff like that, zip ties, whatever you can to help yourself, help others as well. So, one thing, what we talked about this earlier, is additional layers. I seriously still have them in my pack from the winter. Is, once again, like the synthetic layer of leggings, extra socks, long sleeve shirt, uh, maybe a long sleeve pants, maybe pants. I always have that with me 24/7, just in case. The base when you're starting at the hike could be a whole lot different when you're up at the top of the hike, especially with other people as well. So, and I throw all my stuff into a Ziploc bag that seals up like crazy. I got this little technique from Henry from Another Summits. He told me once again when we did the Pemi loop that the plastic bags, the Ziploc bags that are, I think they're like meat graded or stuff like that, seals the best, and they stay sealed so you can keep that pressure where you can get them as flat as you can and put as much stuff as you can in there. And I don't know, I'm a psycho. I carry as much as I can in my pack to help me and to help others in case of a crazy situation. Am I the only one?
no,
Yeah, I told you I have the dry sack that with the compression straps on it, so I can squeeze down that extra gear. I throw it at the bottom of my pack. It's a good spot for it, and I throw that in there at the beginning of the winter season, and it stays in there untouched until the end of the season. It's never been opened, never been used, always on hand.
Correct.
yeah,
Sean?
those hefty freezer bags are the ones I think Henry's probably talking about. Those are what I use. I'll put like extra socks in there, and like I said, and usually they're in there all year long. Those extra socks, I'm not a big change clothes at the summit type of person.
Same.
So I just feel like your body's just gonna have to work to like your body's already warming up your wet, sweaty clothes, and then when you take it off, you have to like take your layers off, and your body, and now your body has to work again to warm up everything that you took off and it's cooled down. So I'm kind of a proponent of just layering up, and that's what the layering process is
Mhm.
about. You just layer up, and then you delayer as you go. Especially when it comes to synthetic, I think synthetic dries faster, and your body will actually sometimes your body heat will keep it. You might be wet from the sweat, but if you put a layer on it, you'll still be, you're just keeping that heat, your body heat in, and you know, I'm not saying don't bring extra layers or a change of clothes. Definitely bring a change of socks because you never know what's going to happen. And an extra set of gloves. I bring in extreme winter conditions. I have these big mittens that I bring, and
Yeah.
gloves. If I have to take the gloves off and I need these mittens on, that's what I'm wearing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hand warmers too. Like I've never I've been more of a proponent of hand warmers in the last couple of years than I have ever. And like I used to carry them. I'm like, well, I'm going to use them only if I need them. But how many times have you like, my hands are freezing. I have hand warmers, but I don't need them yet. So now what I'll do is I'll start out with hand warmers in my pockets, and then because they stay warm for a long time, actually, you'd be surprised. And then I have extras also, and how much are they, right? And if I
Yeah.
need to put my hands the hand warmers into my gloves, then I do that. I don't,
I have a sister-in-law that buys me every Christmas like the Walmart or Sam's Club
It's not, dude.
box of hand warmers.
There's no Walmart or Sam's Club. It's generic. Everything.
But that's where she gets like this huge box. It's like enormous. You could like in Siberia, like this whole Russian prison could be supplied with ham warmers from this box. It's so large.
Yeah. I have a box of it over there. My son gets it for Christmas every
but I don't use them. But I'll bring like 4 or 6 of them with me and try to give them away on the hikes. Maybe from now on I should put like a inside the line decal set with the hand warmers to kind of like here's some hand warmers and some decals promoting the podcast. But
I mean that's the only appropriate thing.
I used to not use them either, but now I would say the last couple of years I'm like, I'm using these fucking things. I don't give a shit.
I have to say, I love hiking in the extreme cold. I don't know why, but when I get to the summit and I sign into maybe a canister or something, and my hand starts getting cold from eating, I get to that point of where like I tuck them into my hands in my mittens, and I still can't it doesn't do it justice. They're still cold, so I'll be like, let me get these freaking hand warmers out. And, I'll use 2 hand warmers once every great in a while. And it instantly, it's crazy how fast they work and how helpful they are. And to be honest, Tad with search and rescue, they use them a lot.
I can imagine they come in handy. I'm blessed with the fact that I don't know whether it was all the skiing I did when I was very young or road riding a bicycle in the winter when you're constantly dealing with wind chill, but I don't really get cold in the winter. I'm capable most super cold days when it's single digits or low double digits. I still at best have 2 layers on when I go out, and I don't have to bundle up much at all. Maybe on my way down, I'll put a shell on to kind of keep some heat in and keep the wind off my body. But for the most time, I'll say that for the most time, hiking in the Catskills in the winter, even where I'm going up really, really steep, ledgy stuff and my hands are in the snow, I just have a pair of shell gloves on without insulation.
I mean, that helps. Yeah.
So.
True.
I must have good circulation or something. I don't really have to bundle up that much.
Yeah, your old body is working a little bit harder.
I guess I'm like my wife says, I'm just cold-hearted deep down.
So now, Sean, you talked about like mittens. Do you have any sort of like gloves that you use towards the winter? Like any sort of brand that you go with? Our MSR. A lot of people use MSR.
I use Rab gloves.
Rab. Oh, I love their stuff.
They're the Baltoros, I think.
Okay.
And
nice.
They're actually probably my favorite gloves. I have 2 pairs of them. They're the Rab Baltoros. They actually like wick your hand sweat away. And I've had my hands in those hiking, and you can feel like the perspiration is like pulling out of from the gloves, and if you take them off or do something, you put them back on, you're like, oh my god, because they're wet, your hand's so cold, but you're like, again, your body heat just warms them up so fast, and they're actually really amazing gloves. I love them.
Yeah, I'm looking at them online now. They look like a good product.
They have a leather palm, and they're just like really, really good gloves. So probably I would say the best gloves I've ever had, actually. Yeah.
They're not all that expensive, $65, $75.
They're
Yeah.
not that bad. They're worth it too. They're definitely
Mhm.
worth it. Yeah, they're really good gloves.
I go with Rab for my down jackets and stuff like that, and my blankets and stuff. They are phenomenal area. So, Tad, what about you? What's you?
I go with these, like I said, these Mountain Hardware shell gloves, zero insulation. They're not touch screen compatible. They're kind of old school. I think they're a few generations old now. They're hard to find.
Boomer
So
stuff.
when I realized they're discontinued, I like cornered the market on, bought like 6 packs of them, size large. And when I run out of these gloves, I'm just going to stop winter hiking because I think it's a sign. But I am going to check out the Rab Vapor Rise gloves, $65,
That's
and
not
they're
bad.
touchscreen compatible, lightweight, highly dexterous,
Yeah,
3.5 ounces,
yeah,
approved by Sean Ianucci,
that's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
legendary hiker and podcast guest.
Correct. Yeah. So I go with MSR. I have some MSR stuff. I got some deals with them from being on search and rescue, and they have a good like mittens slash kind of synthetic layer that you can like I would say like double up. Their mittens go over the synthetic layer if you're getting a little bit too cold and stuff like that. So I've never really had to use them at the same time because the mittens have always been good, and then the and other stuff like that. It's just that the colder times I've kind of kept myself a little occupied to where I haven't had to use them. But who knows? I mean, maybe like the deeper snow. Once again, I haven't had to deal with crazy deep snow. Like maybe you guys have had it up in the Adirondacks and in the Catskills with skiing and stuff. But who knows? Maybe I'll use them once in a while coming up. So that's my go-to is MSR. Maybe I'll look into the Rab stuff. They got some good stuff. I always like their Rab stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. My sense is you go up to the Adirondacks, you need to up your game for winter gear a few notches as opposed
yeah,
to what you see in the Cats. You're above tree line. It's a lot colder, a lot windier, deeper snow. You're further out there. So my sense is what I get by with in the Catskills is probably half of what I need if I were to go up to the Adirondacks.
correct.
I would agree with that statement.
Yeah. So one question I thought of today when I was hiking, winter like food. What do you guys like suggest for food in the winter? Like stuff can freeze quicker, stuff like that in your backpack. You might not be able to bring up the snacks that you usually do in the winter because they'll be frozen solid. Like, what are your suggestions for the winter? I usually just bring up maybe a regular sandwich. It'll still be cold. So, at the summit, stuff like that, even in the negative temperatures, but some people go all out, balls out, and bring up freaking their what's it called, heating stuff, and then just heat up some ramen noodles and stuff like that. So it's pretty crazy. Like, is that Sean? Is that what you do for your clients and stuff like that? Like
No,
pasta, throw in some pasta, start doing some.
look at that. No, no.
Oh, come
Peanut butter
on.
jelly sandwiches are very
You
good.
don't have like a carving station with some dude with the big fancy hat on and,
I have one of those
prime
big
rib and
pepper grinder mills.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Or cheese. I get a grater with the cheese.
Dude, I've heard
Yeah.
people that like kind of like do that just like pull out of their pack some like charcuterie boards and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the?
Yeah. I'll say those people I took on the 6 2 weeks ago, they had some pretty extravagant food. When I stop and eat, I will have a gourmet assortment of Cliff Bars.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll have like an oatmeal raisin, a peanut butter. Yeah.
I got to the point where Cliff Bars, I just can't stomach them anymore. I'm like, I just
Yeah.
can't. I think last one, the only one I can eat, I think, is a blueberry.
Yeah. I think that's the only reason I go hiking is just for the Cliff Bars. And so as I approach the point where I'm going to eat, I'll take one, put it in my pocket so it starts to thaw out. and
Here's my trick.
yeah, and I don't break my teeth eating it.
I put Snicker bars in my hat.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, it keeps it nice and.
This keeps
So
it warm.
I'll have Snickers and they'll freeze, and I'm like, you know what? In about a half hour, I want a Snickers bar.
Mhm.
I'll take it out and I'll put it under my knit hat on my head, and by the time it's ready to eat, half hour, it's defrosted. It's easy to eat. You're not breaking your teeth. Yeah, that's my winter trick with Snickers.
I gotta
can't
admit,
do that
that's
because
pretty.
I seldom wear a hat winter hiking.
Really?
I'm a headband guy.
Ah,
That's pretty
But again,
impressive.
like I said, I stay generally warm down to the super low.
yeah.
temperatures.
You're like a furnace.
Yeah. So Stosh, what do you bring?
I seriously have just a regular
Doritos? You just bring Doritos? Is
well,
that what?
there's Doritos, and then I
Doritos.
have just a regular like turkey, like lettuce, cheese sandwich. No, it stays cool, so it's the whole time. It never freezes over.
Yeah.
It's right in the middle of the pack. I have it between usually layers and stuff like that, so it can never freeze. I've never had anything really freeze besides like my drink sometime, but like it's just I love my turkey sandwiches, it just gives that punch. And then everybody has like you said, a Cliff Bar. Freaking, I don't understand how people can function on just a Cliff Bar the whole freaking hike. You guys are psychos.
That's me, buddy.
Exactly.
So what I started 2 winters ago, I started bringing a thermos of hot cocoa.
That's what you said, yes.
Yeah, because of the sugar, the high fructose sugar in it. But I found I have to watch out because I do get kind of like that sugar bounce off of it where you get a lot of like intense energy for 10, 15 minutes and then it just fades away. Doesn't have that lasting power of a Cliff Bar.
True.
Hot chicken broth is another good one.
Oh,
True.
really?
That's what
Yeah.
people do. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've definitely tried some.
Why not just bring the chicken? Why not just bring the chicken and like
Chicken
squeeze
sounds
it?
good to me too. Yeah.
I mean, I've tried like the hot cocoa pre-hand, but
Mhm.
the hour and a half drive kind of cools it down.
Yeah.
Even though I have it wrapped in the freaking the down jacket that I have, and then also the wool stuff that I have, but it just knocks it down to a cool temperature to where you're up at the summit and you're just kind of screwed. It's just regular.
It's like chocolate milk then. It's like chocolate milk.
But it's not like it's like at 45 degrees, 50 degrees, which doesn't really help you out.
I've had the same problem. Yeah.
I used to bring hot tea, and that's what happens with the hot tea. It cools off pretty fast.
It does.
And I wouldn't put it in the same thermos that I do the hot cocoa in, because then, ironically, the hot tea stays too hot. So I haven't found that balance between the hot cocoa and the tea. I'm still trying to find that, fine line there. But the Cliff Bars are what get me through. I know Sean's not a fan of Cliff Bars.
I used to be. I got to a point where I'm like, I can't stomach.
I started my first power food winter skiing was the Power Bar, the original Power Bar.
Right.
And when they got cold, it was literally like a frozen slab.
Yeah.
It was uneatable. You couldn't break it. You couldn't. So you would go up the chairlift and you would like put it under your thigh, to keep it between your leg and the seat of the chair to try to warm it up, or put it under your armpit or something. And it's still, one chairlift ride wasn't long enough to soften it up.
So the one question that I have is being previously with search and rescue and stuff, we kind of have like a winter preparedness course of where we kind of start fires, build a shelter, stuff like that on our own with what we have in our pack. When's the last time you guys did your like winter preparedness by starting a fire outdoors in the winter, maybe in your backyard or something like that? It's been a while.
Yes.
It's tough, like Tad, how about you?
I try to do it every winter. I try to
lies.
No, last winter I did it on Eagle Mountain, bushwhacked up to Eagle, and did a little fire up there just to, make sure my skills were okay, and that I knew how to strike a match and get it going. And I find that the most important part about start and last winter was good when you start a winter fire. The most important thing is to get rid of the fucking snow before you light the fire, because that's when the snow starts melting, it's going to put your fire out right away. So use your snowshoe or something to dig down to a rock, and you don't have to deal with the snow melting and trying to douse your fire. But yeah, I try to do that once a winter, because when you hike solo like I do, I think that's the thing that would probably save my life, is being able to start a fire.
Yeah. And we've heard of all these rescues in the Catskills and stuff, and they have these overnight times of where the rangers start a fire and keep the patient warm and stuff like that. And it's just so crazy to hear that, a while ago, Slade started a fire down in the middle of the Cornell Slide area, and kept this patient warm. And that was the guy that was just like, oh, hey, I'm fine in the morning, let me fucking hike out by myself. Like, he was, I've never seen Slade. I love Slade so much. He looked like he was just like, oh man, I really want to punch this guy. But to do that in the middle of the winter, it takes a lot of skill, uh, especially with wind, with the coldness. You have to convert the water to, like, maybe you don't have any water, you have to convert the snow to water. That's just insane. You try this in your backyard before you're up in the mountains to do this, because it seriously takes a lot of preparation, a lot of patience to get this going, especially, when you have like the jet boil and stuff like that.
Well, the obvious thing that having a fire in the winter takes is a lot of wood. And when you have a lot of snow, it buries the easy wood to get to, right? It's going to be all the fallen, limbs and branches and whatnot are going to be under a lot of snow. And I've found then in the winter, it's easy to get a small fire started that doesn't last for very long, because you don't have any big wood that's exposed to throw on the fire. So that's like the big limiting factor, is having a pile of wood to use.
If you're not worried about the extra weight too, you can do what I know I've done it in the Adirondacks winter hiking. I'll carry my MSR pocket rocket stove and a small canister. And that's good for multiple reasons. You can boil snow to make water. You can use the stove as the actual torch to start a fire also. So
Sure.
yeah.
It's not, you're talking about extra weight. Like, how much freaking weight is that?
Starting a fire in winter is it's a skill, and every one of us don't have it, right? So if you have that stove, you can use the stove as kind of like a torch to kind of, instead of getting kindling, little, like starting a fire with a match and no newspaper and small kindling, dry kindling is not a skill that is going to be readily accessible to you when you need it in the middle of wherever you are, and there's 3 feet of snow.
Yeah. Well, you carry some of those little fire starter sticks.
That helps. That's
Right.
another.
And they're lightweight, dude.
Yeah, they're
Some people
lightweight.
don't understand that.
Yeah, they burn
Yep.
for a couple minutes each one, and you, with one or two of those sticks, you can get a really good head start on building a fire. But in the heart of winter, the limiting factor is having easily available wood to put on that fire. And then if you're disabled because you have some type of injury and you can't get around,
Right.
then it's going to be really hard on you. But that's where having the other gear available makes it easier for you.
Like a Garmin InReach.
Yeah, or a helicopter.
I mean, a helicopter. Yeah.
Yeah. Sean's like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man. Yeah.
Go for a helicopter ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no. You never know. So, like, once again, this is a course of preparedness for your winter gear. Check out all your winter gear before you go out. We don't know what kind of winter we're going to have and stuff like that. Check your spikes, check your snowshoes, make sure everything's good. Winterize your layers. Pack as much as you can to help you and yourself out. Sean, the one big question we have is, how do you winterize your lawnmower? Like, you only like, what are you gonna do when you're in the winter when you can't listen to Inside the Line because you're not mowing the lawn. What are you gonna shoveling?
Snow blowing.
Okay, okay. I mean, all right, that's good enough. I mean,
Yeah. I do winterize the lawnmower actually, but I feel like probably have a good three more cuts out there
Yeah.
based on the weather, you know.
you guys are lucky. God,
That's probably when you think about it, there's, you're going to have some warm spells and invariably you do that last cut instead of raking or blowing that last set of leaves. You just want to kind of mulch them and
I've mowed the lawn after Thanksgiving.
yeah, yeah,
nice.
I can see it happening.
So, Ted, the last question. What is this? Tissues.
So what is it when you go out in the spring and all you see along the trail are like tissues? Everybody drops tissues along the way. And so I'm assuming, what is it? During the winter, everybody brings a tissue with them
Mm-hmm.
and they use it to blow their nose, presumably. And then they throw it away along the side of the trail because it's white, it blends in with the snow. I mean,
You ever see like a birch bark and you're like, oh, these fucking people with the tissues, and then
yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the
you're like,
time.
oh no, that's
Yeah,
birch.
yeah. So
I use a
Right.
bandana. I don't bring tissues. I use a bandana.
I
yeah.
use my
Roasted
shoulder, my
nasty,
arm.
but I'm blowing snot rockets in it all day long when I'm hiking, and then it goes right into the wash with everything else when I.
Yeah, Sean, we
Correct.
don't say snot rockets on the show.
Oh, you
Okay,
don't?
that's where we draw the line. Okay, snot rockets. You can say fuck, you can say shit.
No snot rocket.
Yeah, but snot rocket, that's no, we don't go there.
Yeah.
But I do bring like a bandana or a little micro towel for whether it's cleaning my glasses, cleaning my camera.
I feel like my nose is constantly running. So
Yeah, correct.
So it's the
Yeah.
buff and the bandana. The buff is probably filled with snot by the end of the day too, and then the bandana that it's usually hanging from that pack, and it's at the end of the day it's frozen snot if it's winter time, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's almost a good spot to leave off on.
I agree.
Frozen
I don't have great
bandanas.
mustaches like you guys have,
Yeah.
so that absorb the snot.
This is not like a mustache. I got as much as facial hair as you do. Come on. All right. So, Sean, thank you for joining us tonight. Glad you took time out to join us again.
Uh-huh.
Really appreciate your input and stuff like that. It's tough to prepare for winter, so hopefully this helped out a lot of people. Hopefully, if it didn't, send us questions. Sean is on Instagram and Facebook. Tad is on Instagram, not Facebook. I am on Instagram and Facebook. If you have any questions, let us know. We will help you out as much as possible. So, last question of the night, post hike brews and bites. Sean, what do you got for us?
So, there's always the usuals, Wesco Brewery, Brios, Snyder's. Snyder's is great. I love Snyder's. But you know what I honestly really like a lot is the Woodstock Brewery. There's
Yes,
good food there. They do have good food there.
they do.
Yeah.
Correct.
A couple people have mentioned that now.
Yeah. And then if you want to venture into Woodstock, my daughter works in Woodstock. I think she's at the country club in Woodstock right now. So if you want a good drink, she's a bartender over there. Yeah.
Where at?
The country club in Woodstock.
Okay, I will put that as well.
Yeah. But I do like Woodstock Brewery. I think they have good food, they good beer. It's in a weird location. It's kind of like a strip mall. I remember passing
Yeah.
it so many times. I'm like, that doesn't look like a desirable place to go, but I have been there and I'm like, it's actually really good. I like this,
Yeah. It's not in Woodstock.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
like
It's between Phoenicia and Woodstock on 28.
Yeah, it's right between what is the guy that we did fly fishing about?
yeah,
It's where Mabes used to be.
Yeah.
Outside of Boysville.
right.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
Good beer. And they let dogs there too, so that's
See,
good.
yeah, so that's fantastic. So
Cool.
thank you, Sean, for joining us. Thank you, Tad, for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it. Big thanks to the monthly supporters and monthly sponsors. We are going to be making an awesome donation to I think it's the Forest Ranger Foundation. I am going to make the donation to, and the Friends of the Feathered and Furry. Got to make the donations to the two most important people. So thank you very much. Once again, thank you to everyone who is still listening to the show. 193 episodes in, and we're still kicking ass. So maybe looking forward to doing a live 200 episode. Maybe not. We don't know. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good night, and we'll get together in the future.
Okay.
Happy hiking.
Yeah, happy hiking.
Hey everyone, I just want to thank you for listening to the show. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe and throw down a smooth review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any podcast platform that you use. You can also check daily updates of the podcast, hikes, hiking news, and local news on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the official website of the show. Remember this, you gotta just keep on living in the Catskills, man. Livin.
Wicked.